Rock and roll, baby.
Alright, we're good to go.
Beep.
Beep, beep, bop. Alright, guys. The Garage 11 podcast is back. We made it through our first episode and here we are again. New location, a little bit more different stuff happening. How are we, guys? We did it.
What's going on? Last week, shit house.
Also, we raced yesterday. That was pretty fun. I'm not exhausted. You guys would be. I didn't do.
Oh, you were flat out.
Nothing.
Flat out in the pits.
Spinning spanners, doing all that sort of
right
stuff.
legs sore from starting our bikes up.
Oh man, I'm used to having it with the Suzuki. So last episode we were pretty much just introducing ourselves really and talking a little bit about what was going on, what we're doing, all that sort of stuff, which was, we got some really good feedback, which was great. Thank you everyone that gave us feedback. You guys are amazing. All 4 of you really gave us positive reviews, which was great. No, thank you. I mean, we're sort of working through this and building it up and adapting it as we're going. So we've actually got microphones at the moment, which is a nice step.
Except I can barely see over mine.
Hopefully they work.
Hey, look cool at least.
Yeah, makes us look like we know what we're doing.
Professionals.
We don't know shit. So recap on the first episode, we were sort of talking a little bit about, like I said, ourselves, podcasts, what we want to try and achieve, a little bit about what's happening in motocross then, or supercross and the super duper extra mega moto karate cross, which was good.
Oh, every time.
That was good. And now we're into motocross now. We've come out of supercross season, into the motocross season. We all knew what was going to happen there. But it is...
We didn't know Chase was going to crash, but we kind of knew Chase was going to crash.
Yeah, I didn't know Crace was... Crace.
Yeah, he's my favourite rider. All of them. Crace.
I didn't know he was going to just disappear completely, because he was my only hope at someone else winning.
I was going to say, you didn't want Jet to win.
Oh, Jet, great, yeah, sick.
Well, I mean,
big guy, Aussie pride, but you know.
Round. He's out. He was out this round.
Yeah.
Isn't he out for a couple of rounds though?
Yeah.
Are
we getting into this later? Are we getting into this
We are going to get into this later. Very good.
I've got some
very good
info.
We've
got some stuff.
Gozzo's got some stuff.
Just some Gozzo insider stuff.
What we want to do is we want to touch base on our bikes, because we are a restoration business, we are a workshop, we talk shit, we do all that sort of stuff, we've got some cool stuff, and our biggest passion obviously is our motorcycles. Between Gozzo's, Marshall's, all 12 of yours. So we're going to have a little bit of a look into, and a bit of a deep dive, only very briefly, on some of our bikes.
A bit of a shallow dive.
We're going to go that don't jump off the jetty dive.
Yeah.
So I'll start. Probably my pride and joy would be my CR125.
This thing.
CR125, the 96 CR125.
Since
all 13
It was with all 12.5 horsepower. It was forgotten about for quite some time.
Yeah.
We bought it for 1,200 Aussie dollary dues in 2018, and we let it wait for a week. That was when prices were good. And then they changed 5 minutes later, and now they're changing back. But we're not going to get into that. We may leave that for another podcast. It's a bike we ride. We rode it when I met you. I was riding it everywhere. That was my only bike.
Yeah.
I didn't know any different. It was sick. We loved it.
That was the cane bike.
I kind of loved it. It was completely stuffed when I bought it. Blew it up second ride, built the engine, suspension. Got it mechanically fine, but it always looked...
bit rough.
Tatty, didn't it?
Marshall always had words on it.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No. It was one of them far from good from far situations.
Yeah. It was a 20 metre bike.
Yeah, you're like, oh, look at that CR over there.
Yeah.
And you walk up and go,
look at that CR over there.
And the thing was, before COVID, everyone went, oh yeah, sick of CR. And then during COVID, everyone was like, holy shit, a mid-90s CR, got to be worth 12 grand at least.
I know what I've got.
100%.
I put a bolt kit in it and new plastics. I know what I've got.
Yeah, I know what I've got. We're onto it. But yeah, so we decided we were going to put a fast young rider on it. Yes, the controversy is real. And so we thought, let's pull it apart, let's give it a birthday, let's cosmetically bring it up to speed, and it definitely came up
Just not to speed.
Not to
Yeah.
speed. It doesn't have forward
And that's
momentum, but that's about it.
Yeah.
We raced it yesterday, or I didn't. We had a fairly competent young man who
More competent than me and Mark.
Yeah, and he was sitting on the rear guard trying to. He was almost getting off. And
He was
running
pedaling
along
it.
with it.
He
He
was
was
pedaling
literally
it.
pedaling it. Yeah, and it wasn't going anywhere.
No.
So we're going to try and find some little bit more pipes out of it.
Some extra pelicans.
Some extra pelicans out of it. But that's sort of my thing, and my grandfather paid for that bike just before he passed away, so it sort of has a fairly sentimental value to it, and I think bikes, for a lot of us, have sentimental value to it, otherwise we wouldn't be passionate about them. Hey, why don't you ride your 91 RM 125?
Yeah, it's not happening.
Exactly right.
Sentimental value.
So yeah, that was sort of my thing. I know, where are you at, guys? Because you're obviously of a different age bracket to us.
Yeah.
So
Like
you're...
baby.
12?
You
Yeah, I was born
the most responsible, but the youngest, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
What did you start off with? What was your thing?
Well, what I started riding on.
Yeah, what did you start riding on?
So I've got a Pee-wee 50 in the shed.
Yeah,
That's,
sick. That's the one hanging up in the
mounted to the
workshop.
wall.
Little
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah, started on a
What
Peter.
are we doing resto on that?
Dude, I'm down to do it. But
It costs
what
about
I-
38 bucks.
What I find
No,
tricky,
he needs more than that.
But-
He needs more than that.
Yeah, true.
What I find tricky is I did
Getting it off the wall, reaching
because
it.
I can't reach it. Yeah, because this guy, I've just completely lost my train of thought. You guys have got your bikes that you grew up riding, and they were two strokes, and they're cool and iconic.
They're cool until you ride them.
Yeah, but they're still iconic. But like, see, I did a lot of my riding on a CRF 150R, so like a build of that's not really cool. Like to me, it would probably be cool.
Generation is changing though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but
Like
that
that
thing
generation.
changes,
Never
dude.
change into a CRF.
Nah, dude. Nah.
Those things are
That
terrible.
was my biggest. You know, I look back on my riding. I was like, I wish we would have just got an
Did it
85.
never start?
Yeah.
Did it start?
No, it was mad. No, did
Oh,
it
really?
was sick. No, it
Usually
was
they
mad.
never start.
Dude,
No,
mine
it
was
was really good.
84 YZ100L.
L.
Does anyone even know what that
No,
is?
I don't
There you
know.
go. So
No.
at least you know
Yeah,
what a
here's the
CRF
thing-
150
Here's
is.
the thing, and I'll touch on it like on another point, is that I never rode a two-stroke until I was 21.
Yeah.
So like I never ridden a 125, an 85, a 65, and it's one of those things that'll bug me forever. Is that on the 125 that I have, because I've got a 2020 KTM 125.
I think it's going into cruise stream for some cars.
That is absolutely going to cruise stream because that's just
Couple of suspension troubles. On the
yeah, just a bit.
Couple
I
of
have
air fork issues.
I have
on
about
the weekend.
400 broken vertebrae and fractured elbows, but that bike has taught me how to. I'm not fast, but it's how to ride.
They teach you how to turn, too.
They teach you how to turn, hold momentum, and then like I always notice when I go from my 125 to my 350, I ride the 350 a hell of a lot better.
100%.
Yeah.
And I kind of look back and wish that I had a two-stroke as a younger kid because I feel like it would have just laid a better.
I
foundation.
think, and we've had this conversation before, I think you have to have both. If you're
Yeah.
really looking to go faster in motocross, yes, it's expensive. We have, everyone's got different abilities to be a part of that, having two bikes. But if you've got a two-stroke and a four-stroke, which we all have four strokes, we're not going to get on that romantic train of two strokes only.
Yeah.
But I ride my RMZ. If I can get it going, it's great. But then you get onto the Husky on my 150 and it's like, oh wow, now I can carry, like I feel different, you know what I mean? And you go back to the other one and all of a sudden you're trying to ride the RMZ like a two-stroke.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm actually carrying more corner speed. Like they
Yeah.
definitely go hand
Like
in
that
hand.
was a day at Cruising. So I took the 125 out a couple of weeks ago and was just tipping into ruts. Wasn't doing it on my 350 all morning. Did it, then got on my 350 and it was just like, hey, I know what I'm doing.
This is easy.
Yeah, it was just nuts. And that 125 it's got a special place for me because that got me riding again. I had a 450 when I met Marshall, but then I sold it to buy an engagement ring, and then I got married, and
That
it
was a
kind of
mistake.
there was just no, it wasn't. I love my wife.
Selling bikes to buy
I know
rings.
Kayla doesn't watch this, but like, just I don't agree with anything Marshall said. but no, like then because it was originally my old man's, and
Just said recording cancel.
Nah, we're good.
we're good. It's
Yeah,
still recording.
because that was that recording, but the actual screen recording's still going.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
sick.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
I was
so
worried about
the-
technical
Technical issues.
but not really.
So
not
my
really.
old man bought it to play. Let's just have a play around with it, and then I started riding, and he bought another bike. I started riding the 125, and then from that it just carried through. Ended up back on the 350, then back on the 450. Spat that back out pretty quick because I can't. ride a
450s are too much.
Dude.
450s, unless you're an absolute animal.
Freak. Or ride it
I don't
really
know.
gently.
Here we
They
go.
are, no, because
Here we
like my last bike
Was a
was a
450.
450.
But it was a
gas
gas. They're leaving-
Yeah.
That made you lazy though.
Yeah, but I feel like that bike coming off my old 350 onto the gasser, I feel like I rode that thing well. Like I didn't ride it super fast, but it taught me.
Did you have as much fun on it though?
Yeah, I used to love
Yeah.
it. But then obviously getting the new 350,
Yeah,
like the
that thing's-
Kato, that thing's unreal. But
Fun,
we can have this conversation.
350, 450,
450s every
yeah,
week.
yeah,
but
350.
like I can't say that I didn't get better on my 450 because I feel like I did.
Yeah, 100%. And even
Yeah.
will say one of our mystery guest, ghost not here guest for today.
He rides a 450.
He rides a 450, yeah, like a
Yeah.
125.
I think with the Phantom, that's easy.
But he said it taught him because it's your like engine inertia, everything is like
Yeah.
whoa. You have to
Super
learn
different.
like you learn another skill set on a four. Not that I don't need a 252 stroke and I don't need a 450. I'm just not that sort of rider. I don't need to prove. I don't need to be around. I don't need any of those big ball stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
But the 350 is good. Like, you know, for where I'm at riding,
Yeah.
like it doesn't bite me on the ass when I'm not riding it properly. And you can still kind of charge, like I say charge in parentheses, I ain't charging anywhere. But like in my head, like at the Vipers yesterday, just like bombing into an inside. Like you can get on it a bit harder.
You're
Yeah,
not
I'm
scared
not
of it.
scared of it
No,
at all.
no.
At all.
So going
Yeah.
back to your bike, what was your thing? Obviously your CRF 150, but obviously you had a couple of little accidents. You sort of got away from it.
Yeah,
You're a
so-
Susie guy.
Yeah, I had an RM125, and if I was to do a build, if people stop
What do you
asking.
mean if
If you-
When I do one, when people stop asking for 12 grand for a fully restored RM125.
Hey, we've got conversations to have with you, Junior.
Yeah, but like that, I want to build an RM125 because I had a lot of fun on that. I didn't
Is
have
that
it
a
for
Travis
long.
Pastrana, like the last gen RM?
Yeah, it was. I think it was actually. I can't remember the year of it. I'd have to look through photos.
They were pretty similar.
Yeah, well, they were all the same from
Yeah,
exactly. It was the last.
And
it was the last
03.
stop.
03, everything was different, and then they sort of like,
It was the last of the build, and I ended up fracturing my vertebrae on it. And then I think the bike was sold by my mum before I even got home, because I was 15 and fractured my back, and then took heaps of time off. But that bike was really sick. Like that was the first two-stroke I rode. Besides the 125, like I had the KTM. I had that for a few months before I screwed my back, and it wasn't even doing anything. Like wasn't jumping.
Just bouncing off trees, weren't you?
Yeah, no. I found out that trees versus a 125 doesn't.
Trees don't move; they're very comfortable in their position.
Yeah, so I hit it that hard, it just fractured and chipped a vertebrae, got whiplash on one half of my back. It was sick. It was really good for
Yeah.
15
Dirt
year-old
bikes.
to go through.
Dirt bikes.
Bikes are sick.
That's why we're not that bright.
Yeah.
Because we'll bounce off the ground, especially you.
Big derps.
Big derps.
Oh,
But yeah, so that's where I'm at. The 350 I have now is I've done the most I've ever done to a bike on it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Swinger.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, right. Like this is the one bike that if I want to do
And it
something.
fell on the ground and hit the disco.
Yeah, this is the one bike that these guys have really said, like, you want to do something to it, do it. Like, take it apart, do what you got to do to
We'll
it.
coach you, but you're doing it.
Yeah, and it's been good, and it gives me a lot of confidence in just knowing the bike, and a lot of confidence in just like, hey, I know.
Because you're at the
I know
like,
some shit.
not at the beginning, but you're at a very early stage of the whole mechanical side.
Oh, dude, I'm a fetus. when it
You're
comes
more
to
of the
mechanical
actual like let's keep garage life alive kind of sort of mentality. Whereas from a mechanical point of view,
Yeah.
you're sort of and it'd be
Right.
cool. We'll sort of work talk a little bit about what you're doing and document it and that experience of learning because you're going to learn a lot of stuff and probably experience things that people at home and anyone who's doing restorations will actually go
Yeah,
through.
like
you
your
know what I
bike
mean?
falling on top of you in the shed.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
It's
Strict
been there.
fires.
those years of
Yeah,
bodybuilding paid off.
And it
So-
really fell on me today, just
Yeah.
trying to get them, and I squashed my finger in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
strip
like
bolts and all that
Yeah.
good fun stuff.
Yeah, so I love the bike, like how it rides, it's unreal. It's the most comfortable I've ever felt on a bike.
Yeah.
And that's also credit to Marshall especially, just giving it a crack, just tampering with your suspension, tampering with your fork height.
Play
Like,
with stuff.
all-
You gotta play with stuff.
yeah, and I see that as really like, if you're riding and you want to get the most out of it and maximise that experience, you've got to start doing that stuff.
You gotta learn.
and
See, that's
having the nuts
that's
to
the
do
thing
it.
with me. I'm a little bit more cautious, unless it's with money. Then I just
You're
start
like
throwing
captain-
shit, throw it to the wind and just go.
You're
for
also
it. But
captain overthink.
Yeah,
when it comes to,
100%,
with
100%.
everything like that. But yeah, like I got a mass. I put.
You
the bike
can't.
with some stuff.
Like you can hurt yourself. Obviously, full disclaimer. Yeah, don't just start smashing shit. But they're like a big Meccano set. They obviously get a little bit more complicated, but
Yeah.
they're not that scary. It's like we're looking at that two-stroke out there just
Yeah.
before. It's like, is a four-stroke different? kind of little oil pump stuff, but not
Yeah.
really like
Yeah.
basic.
Little oil pump stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like I've started now watching a lot of bike build videos because of you guys, and like not because of you. It's just now that I see them, I actually want to watch them.
Well, you're more interested in it now.
Exactly, like when you're surrounded by it, and watching a bike being pulled apart on YouTube is great, but then going to the shed, seeing it, feeling it, touching it, it makes a big thing seem smaller.
Yeah.
Like you kind of like, okay, I've seen it now, I've touched it, I've fiddled with it.
And that's what we were talking about before, because you're going to buy an RM pretty soon and restore it up here with us, and you're doing it right.
Yeah, this is the first he's hearing about this.
Yeah, but that's okay.
We've already spoken, me and Kane spoke
We've
about
already
this
sorted this
today.
out. Yeah, absolutely.
Kayla, your first, Sophia, your first push bike will be delayed because Dad's going to buy another bike.
2004 RM125.
But you've got to know when something doesn't, we were saying this, you know, when it doesn't feel right. Do you keep forcing it? Do you get a bigger hammer, or do you go, no, that doesn't feel right? Do you know what I mean? Like you have that feeling for every interaction you have with it. You got to start to learn those feelings.
And that relates. Your muscle can't let that take over. You have to go, do I twist it that bit harder because I know that I can make it go in?
Because we've all done it, and then it goes soft, and it's really easy.
My torque setting is a little higher than the average mechanic on
But there's nothing stronger or tighter than a cross-threaded bolt.
This is common sense.
It's common sense.
But yeah, that'll be the big thing with you, is knowing
when
it feels right and when it doesn't. Like what Kane was saying, like if it doesn't go together properly,
is it meant to be tight?
Something's obviously not right.
Yeah.
So
Engines are the big one. When you're putting cases together, you look at them, you're like, nah, stop. But the minute you think to stop. Yeah. Otherwise, you're up for new cases.
Because then you get a big mallet and you hit it and you go, pretty sure I just broke something inside some stuff. Yeah. Some things go. I've got to replace them things.
Yeah.
So,
Marshall,
what is your? I know.
You've got an idea.
I've been really involved in your.
You all think it's my 91 125, which is like the staple of, but. In reality, it was an AG 100.
Yes,
a two-stroke.
So we both started on Yummy 100
I don't even know what it was, to be honest. I can't remember the letters. All I remember was
it Russia?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
So the first bike my dad bought me was another AG bike, and this thing was fucking massive. It was huge. The seat was all torn and fucked. It was like duct taped up. It was yellow. The handlebars looked like something you'd have on a Harley. The grips were like concrete. And I rode that around
with the levers left on.
It was big, dude. It was a fucking big tractor. And I said to Dad, I'm like, I can't ride this thing. I need something else. So he went and bought me this other AG 100, which was a two-stroke. The other one was a four-stroke. And I thought this thing was sick. It was the biggest piece of shit.
Did you leave it in the creek or something? Was that the one you left in the creek?
Man, I don't even know where it went. I can't remember what happened to that bike. But that was like my first ever two-stroke.
Yeah.
And it was fucking terrible. Then, because I was riding with my other mates who obviously had... That's where the RM craze all started, because they all had RMs and whatnot.
RMs were big, dude.
Well, I didn't know nothing. And that obviously... Whoever you're hanging around with influences you, so they were like, they had a 90...
foot piece looked good.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
92 RM125, they had a 92 RM250. So...
That's a sick bike.
It was a sick thing, and it was off its dick too. And then I said, Dad, I need an RM125.
Gotta have one.
I have to
have one. The world is gonna end unless I get one of these.
It doesn't matter how much you have to spend on it, I need it.
We're not eating, that's not a problem.
Strike.
We went over to some homie's house, I don't know, I can't remember his name, someone from school. He's like, I want 1400. Dad said, I'll give you 800. And he's like, no. I'll give you 900. No. Give you 1150. Sold. Beautiful.
Done.
So I pick up this piece
give
of
you 1450 for it.
The thing was, it was a shit box, man. 91 RM125. Thing was clapped out. I rode it. Loved it.
How was the air filter on? Do you even know where it was?
No, I didn't do any of that stuff. Yeah. I never knew nothing.
See,
I never changed the air filter from the day I bought it to the day I sold it.
I grew up with a service nuts.
We didn't know anything. Dad didn't know anything about it. Like, Dad had a
rough idea.
Motorbike, but it was like a road bike.
Yeah.
But he didn't know, like, my dad's not super mechanically minded in that sense. So it was literally just like, there's your motorbike, it takes two-stroke, mix it up.
What's the mix? Don't know.
Half, 50-50.
Right, alright, cool. So I rode this thing around. Used to ride it because I never rode motocross when I was a kid. I used to just ride around the farm.
A lot of people did though. That's how you learn. Some of the
it.
best riders
and
come
around on the road. Like,
Yeah,
because we lived in a country town. And it was just, I'm going over to Berkey's place, jump on the bike and just ride down the street. Just fucking wedged down the road.
Past a cop drop.
And then we destroyed it, fixed it, all that kind of crap, and then I moved away. Like school finished, we sold it, and it was like just
a forgotten memory.
Forgotten thing, and I didn't ride for years and years and years after that.
I think all of us have been through that little. We haven't really.
Yeah, it's a big break.
Everyone goes away from it and comes back.
Came back, bought another bike, then went away from it again, and then when I started tattooing about 10 years ago now, got back into it again. Anyway, long story short, the 91 came back. My actual 91 came back into my life 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
it would have been 2
About
years
2
ago.
years
When you went
ago.
to Queensland.
Yeah. And now that thing is literally just
Restored it.
She's
Just
a
in the living room.
lounge room princess. She just sits in the corner and looks pretty.
Cat loves it.
Cat loves it, chews on it, does all that kind of stuff. It gets started here and there. Actually, when we were out at Viper yesterday, Marigold's old man was like, "Why don't you bring the 91 out?" I was like,
No. That is an ornament.
Oh,
It is,
totally.
yeah, 100%.
And the amount of drama and issues we had building that
That's
thing.
you though. Whenever you do something, it just ends in issues.
Lately it's not been too bad.
You can't order parts.
They
It'll be
can
wrong
build
and
bikes,
it won't get
guys,
delivered.
just in case you're ever thinking about sending bikes their way. There's no issues.
There's no issues with anyone else's shit.
Fine. It's just here.
mine. Yeah. Like if I... air filter for a 91 125, sweet.
It's coming 93 to
It's a
KX 450.
2023 KX 450 exhaust.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the
100%.
fuck? Order an air filter and an exhaust turns up. So, but yeah, the 91's probably the big
That's
staple.
The big one. Yeah.
So you got your 350.
Then I got, I got 23 350 Kato. I got a 03 RM250. I got a 21 CRF 110. I've got an 06 YZ250, a 21 gas 125. I think that's all of them. Isn't it?
We should get old PG on the podcast. Look at his bikes.
Who?
My dad.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
big
podcast
guys.
wouldn't end till tomorrow.
You got the Factory Edition 450, you got the 300 SX. Oh, man.
So yeah, that's
What parts on it? I don't know.
just bits.
Hey, Marshall built it. I don't know what I told him to do.
No.
He just sent me a bill for $5,000.
Is that it?
No, maybe.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this circus
Whoa! Talk about circus.
moving forward.
Unlike nearly moves right forward.
It's a mic or a boxing bag.
Unlike my CR125, this is going to go forward. Current events. Motocross.
Don't know about
We're back into motocross. Now, I want to start off with this. Everyone's like, oh, motocross is boring. It's not really, no one wants to do it. Let me remind everyone that we all ride motocross.
Yeah, but I would ride Supercross if
you could.
If I was talented. Nah, you know what?
The sport is called motocross, and this is the heart of it. This is what makes it what it is and where it's come from.
Point. I only think Supercross has more like avid fans. No, it's not money. It's just
It's
to
push.
watch it. No, but to watch it because the track's tighter.
It's more
And
exciting. Lights
It's
and
fast.
sponsors
It's
and
just
stuff
like
going
say
on.
I've got a point on Cooper Webb, and I'm going to skip the points that we've laid out. But say Cooper Webb, you said to me, "Oh no, he's going to come good, and he's going to be that annoying guy." Here's the thing. No. He will get. Hang on. He will get podiums, but he will not beat Jet. On a Supercross track, he's got to listen. Stop
I'm
looking at
listening.
me.
I'm not saying
He's got to get through a rhythm section and do his stupid little 90 degree, just that tight turn.
Dude.
You can't do that on an outdoor track.
Listen.
It's too big, too fast. He hasn't got it.
I'm not an advocate for Webb. Everybody knows. Anybody that knows me knows I can't stand him.
For those of you who know me,
But I just know what he's like.
See, I don't mind Webb, but I can openly say he's not going anywhere near. No one is. And you know how I can tell? When I was watching the outdoors, like the last round at Hangtown, AP would close 2 seconds on Jet. Jet would go, oh shit. Drop a 4 second a lap faster and then monitor it. He could do the JS7 thing and win by a minute 58.
Jet has 20% in reserve at all times.
20 is
I
like
totally understand all
minimum,
that,
mate.
but at the same time, shit happens.
Nah, yeah, but I don't
And
think
that- and
riding
that-
70%.
Supercross was the exact perfect example of what you're saying. That
Yeah.
shit happened.
And where's that guy? Where's that guy
Supercross
that just
is
like
not-
sits
but
there?
Soupy
He
is
just
a
sits
fuck-
there.
Supercross got him though. Got where?
Supercross
got a lot of
also
people.
has quads and triples and whoopses and shit.
Whoopsadoos.
Whoopsadoos. And then smackadoos out for the season. But outdoors, if you're riding it...
No, Smackadoo doesn't go out. He just does 97 cartwheel and then comes back.
But here's the thing, though.
Going backwards.
And it's going to sound dumb. If you think of us, right, and I'm going to talk about Vipers, I didn't drop the bike once.
No.
I'm very proud of it. I stopped it like 15 times, but I didn't go down. The reason I didn't is because I never rode it 100% the whole day. Like, I was putting laps in at like 75, 80%, just happy with that pace. Jet is riding at like 70%. He might kick a wheel out or wash his front end out, but touch wood.
When was the last big accident he had? Junior year in Supercross?
Yeah, literally.
In his
When
collarbone?
he, like, rode the front wheel
Yeah,
for 14 kilometres facing another jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't see, he's just riding that.
Jet's gonna...
Look,
Look,
I'm not saying Jet's not going to win.
you're saying
I'm
Coops
just
is
saying
gonna be there.
Coop's going to come good. You know,
Yeah,
like, and
but
he
not
always...
good enough.
No, I'm not saying he's going to come good enough to beat.
Yeah. But he will, he
but,
will.
Like,
I believe that.
You know, well, he said, "Ooh, Webb was where? Webb was nowhere." And then I said to you,
You said he'll
"Wait
come
until the
good.
third round or something, and he'll start to come
Yeah,
good."
and he's
I never
good.
said he was going to win the
Are the
championship.
guys hungry for motocross though? And that's where I started this. Like, motocross is the sport.
Has Webb
No.
hasn't won a motocross
No.
championship?
I don't think so.
Here's what I view him. He may not care about. Say like I think KDM would have forced him to do the series. That's what
Well,
might be
he'd
on
be
the
on
back.
track for
But
it.
the thing
Yeah,
is,
100%.
the thing is that I think these guys have been competing since they were 3. And I'm a competitive dude. I'm just not fast enough on a dirt bike to give a shit when I'm on the gate. So I'm not competitive when I race. When I ride.
I don't know, man.
Actually, I had a
Some
mad
little
race for
cranky
second
girls like
last.
man.
No, but like these guys are just hyper competitive. So when Webb's on a gate, he wants to win.
Most fast guys
Irrespective.
are hyper. We saw it
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh yeah,
We saw it, yeah. But we'll get into that when we get into our little rundown of yesterday.
Yeah.
But the guys are hyper competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Webb's not out there just to circulate. No one's circulating on a motocross track because
No one's doing it for a
they're obliged
paycheck.
to it.
no one's there for a paycheck.
But, you know, I don't know. It's...
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. Motocross for me is the heart of the sport.
G11.
It's a slogan.
I don't know, man.
I feel like that should be a G11 shirt. We should get the logo.
That should be the
across
name of the
back.
podcast.
I don't know, man.
Um,
The all new
But yeah, Chase.
apparel line.
you're ridiculous.
All down the sleeve.
I don't know, man.
Chase.
Dude. Chase. He was.
So-
I always like an underdog, right? Not an underdog.
He's
But
not the underdog. He's the favourite.
not with Jet. Like
He
Jet,
was still
Chase
still
Chase
meant
was
to be
there
the favourite.
to get it right.
The favourite.
Yeah, but we all knew Jet was going to be fast after Red Bud last year. We know he wasn't going to come out and get fit.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like he was going to do it.
Yeah, but Chase, you know,
But
after a
now-
season with Tomac, he
Who's
was the
gonna
favourite.
Who's gonna give it to really? Who's gonna week for week? Who's gonna really be
No.
there?
Everybody's sitting in their beds watching TV. 'cause
That's
they're
the
all
problem.
broken.
Yeah, but what happened to Chase midweek? He had a stat because I think.
Have
I
you
think
ever
it was-
experienced any of this firsthand?
What?
Like just exhaustion, like training exhaustion and stuff from your background, or have you seen it?
No, because what I used to do was not tested by water.
Yes,
So I
yeah.
had certain things to
To
help
keep
me
you going.
recover.
Yeah.
And also
what are these things?
creatine and whey.
Just natural.
Amino acids.
Natural amino acids.
Horse meat.
Vitamin C supplements and a few
Yeah.
Vitamin
bits
C
of
tablets.
bit, about that big.
Yeah,
The chewy ones.
we injected vitamin C, but nah. So like I never had that, but it came out. I think Chase has got mononucleosis.
Mono.
Does that mean you can't do monos?
He can't do wheelies. He's like me now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Splitting the arm.
But it's like Epstein-Barr virus.
But you
not
say
that they
similar,
have
but what's I always thought they were like.
They're pretty much interchangeable.
Okay.
It's like another virus of chronic fatigue. That's basically what it is.
So you
So
pretty much
it's
just training your little lick off and then you run out of
I
steam.
always thought
Yeah.
Epstein-Barr was how much air pressure you put in your
thought Epstein-Barr was like how many kids you could have
You
done
put 6 Epstein-Bars in your forks.
Yeah, my 125 Air Force. But yeah, he's got that, and I find it's going to be interesting to see if he does come back, because if you've got mono, and
But
Jet right now with the competition he has, he could probably win a title with mono. In my opinion, he probably could. If he rests all week,
It's
It's just
It's like
like-
glandular fever, I think.
yeah, you just
You just
oh, so maybe
tired.
I've got that.
Mate, you're always tired.
no, you're
That's
just
what I
old.
mean.
You're
Maybe
just
I've
old.
got it.
You
That's
got
old
the eye
age.
goes up, we know it's time for bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I just
me up
think
so late, past 7.
little cat's gonna be calling you up soon.
He will.
Yeah, it's time for bed.
Getting called.
Time for your pills and bed.
It was a bit down.
Yeah, but I don't think he comes back for the season. If he's got mono, he's going to
But we're going to KTM. Yeah, so let's just reset.
Yeah,
let's just get ready for Kato life.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have a whole world of...
He's going to need the rest to put up with Webb's stink eye in the factory tent.
Isn't Webb riding Dukes though?
I don't think
who knows what Webb's doing? I don't even know.
I don't know, man.
Is it speculation or is it happening or what's going on?
I feel like there's far more tangibility behind Triumph than there is Ducati at the moment. Triumph have got
but
stuff
Ducati are
happening.
Italian.
So it's not going to work. They're all asleep on a Friday afternoon.
They have a siesta,
You know what I mean?
man.
Oh, later.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think with Chase going to KTM next year, he's got mono. The problem is, it's Honda's in charge of him now. So Honda could say,
Let's
get
go
on the bike, off you go, or because KTM does
Honda are
that,
notoriously ruthless as well. It's
Yeah.
some of the biggest names in the sport ever, and Honda have literally
burnt it. Yeah, and so it's like, I don't know. I don't think KTM would be thrilled about it because they might be picking up used goods that are not recovered.
Brand new second-hand.
Brand new second-hand.
Oh, I won a championship, brand new second-hand. Bring him over.
Yeah. It's not worth, in my opinion, if you've got mono, you need 6 months. Like, you remember Dean Wilson had it bad, and the reason... Dean Wilson.
Can't remember him.
Oh,
Do you
he's
remember?
an arsehole. I love Dino. But like Dean
Dino's
Wilson,
great, but...
yeah, but and I feel for him because he's at the tail end of his career, his body's shot, but the last, probably not last season, but the 2 seasons, 3 seasons prior, he was dealing with Epstein-Barr virus, which is similar to, it's pretty much the same as mono.
Yeah.
And it killed him. Like, it killed his results, killed his momentum.
I don't think he ever really recovered for it.
He never did. And he never got the time to take 6 months and just recover. So, like, if Jet is in the position to say
that's
that
been his whole entire career.
He's been
always been injured.
He's been
Well, he tried to scoop that ice cream scoop out of his butt at World SX last year, didn't he?
He's just had surgery again.
Yeah, well, I saw him
the other day.
Yeah,
he's like old mate on
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what's from there.
Grown Ups.
Yeah.
He's got his arms taped up.
But yeah, the poor dude's been riddled with injuries, and at 23 years old, I can sympathise because I'm Chase's age. Rest, dude. Your career's...
He's Roger DeCosta's age.
Yeah, dude.
If I had Roger's cash, I'd be...
You'd be kicking it.
But I just think at 23, man, just rest the season. I don't know if he can say that he can or can't, but if you got mono...
Just chill.
Just sit it out. And
just chill, bro. Hey, Chase, just chill, bro.
I know Chase is listening. I'm 23. I understand the fame and success that you are.
Just
Chase.
Well, you look at it, you got here overtraining, right?
Yeah.
That's huge in our sport. I think that's an issue in our sport.
We have a prehistoric sport in terms of training. If you think of any other motorsport in the world, no one practices in the race car. It's all simulated. I'm not saying you can simulate a motocross bike, but the level of training...
MX vs ATV.
That's how I've been getting
close.
I don't know, man.
Well, a lot about race, like when I was doing race car stuff, our drivers, the only time we had 3 or 4 designated days where the category could test a year. That's all you get because it's all controlled.
Yeah,
there's
like
no
GP,
secret testing.
MotoGP.
Yep. Yeah. The boys would be in a simulator every now and again, but other than that, they had built their craft. They were always going to the racetrack ready to go. There wasn't like, hey, we're going to go out and ride or drive for 2 hours today. Because it costs $300 million just to go driving.
I guess it's different in that sense, but...
These guys are riding 3 days a week.
You got another problem too, is that we're not a sport, say like F1. I'll take GP, for example. There's no real privateers in the GP, like motocross. So then if you're going to...
It's about $400 billion
just to show up, just to get a ticket to go.
The wall that you hit with motocross and supercross is that you have privateers. So if you're going to limit how much the factory guys can train, then Joe Blow's still going to train.
I love that guy.
Joe Blow,
he's my favourite privateer.
Joe Blow's everywhere.
He's my favourite privateer.
I think there's a lot of stuff that we could do. I reckon motocross, your manufacturer does whatever, right? So your manufacturer builds a homologated bike. So it fits within that window for the year. You change your suspension and you put a pipe in it. That's all you get, whether you're factory or whether you're privateer.
I'm down with that.
That should 100% parity, total parity.
Yeah, and that looking at the 250 class this year, like in the outdoors, if I was the shred talented, I would not be doing privateer in the 250 class. I'd move up. with all the guys out and the amount of killers in, you don't have to work the Christ out of a 450. Like take Jeff, do you know Jeff Walker? If you guys watch Jeff Walker,
Just my boy.
it's your boy,
Your homeboy.
your homeboy, your home bang.
That's my slice.
But he races the 450 class, and he's done the 250 class before. He's also 18 foot tall, but like the amount of
I
work
don't know.
he had to.
You guys been what 18 foot?
I'm like 5.
5'18"?
5
and 1/8.
Yeah, 5 and 1/8. Yeah, and you don't have to work the bike so hard on a 450. Like you don't have to spend the
See,
amount
you're
of.
not constantly spending
Spreading
money on
rebuilding,
it
because
because it's not dead.
Because
Back in the day, you go get a pipe, you get a head. We're just explaining that on a two. Like I'm gonna go back to the old ways, right? On a two-stroke, you could a race bike was a barrel, a head, and a pipe, and a reed, and off you go. That's not
Like a
cost.
Chad Reed and a barrel.
Yeah, barrel.
Put Chad Reed on this
The
one,
barrel,
and he's
and
off.
off you go.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
that you to go even to be even in the window, you're spending thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
to
and
get
you're going up
these
against
250.
HRC as the bat computer as their ignition. Like they got like every technological piece under the sun. Like I was listening to to Gypsy Tales talk to Jeffrey Hurlings about how fast the bikes are, and it wasn't about 350s for the first time ever. Even though I love him and I love 350s, but he was saying how they should have a certain amount of power for the start and then the mapping changes after first corner. And I thought of listening, I was like, damn, that's actually a pretty solid idea. But then Jeffrey Hurlings goes, yeah, we've got that, and it's still too fast. Like Hurlings was saying, the bike is crazy fast. I know the GP tracks are different to the US, which are different to ours, but like even he says that, and that dude is.
I just think we could be doing a lot more for the overall category. Everyone's complaining how there's no one racing anymore. Who wants to go racing? Realistically, like forget about our little Viper 3-lap round. If you wanted to go do Gippies or be competitive or even Vic Motocross,
Nah, you get away with it here.
but you've got to spend money. Do you know what I mean? You have to spend money.
Yeah, and
to
a
go
good
fast.
example of that is Cal Dice, who we sponsor, and it's like you look at say the MX3s for example, and it's not just the money you spend; it's like the sacrifices that you make too. Like a lot of the dudes in the top 5 to 10 don't go to school, just ride their bike.
Our
Their
sport is
bikes
becoming unhealthy.
their bikes are juiced to the moon and back, and like we try to do our part to help them out, but it's also like, Jesus Christ, when you're at school, it's 5 days a week,
Yeah.
and you don't get to go to a test track and a private track and this private track and that private track. We're down at Cruisix, and he waits until 2 o'clock so the track is somewhat rough,
You're not gonna.
and you don't have
You're not
access
going
to
to
that
make it.
stuff.
You're
So-
not going to make it unless you're willing to sacrifice your
Literally
education,
everything,
your
man.
parents, the
And you're
houses.
still running
You
a
are not
gauntlet.
going to make it.
Yeah.
But the issue comes back to, and we all know my feeling on moto dads. Stop trying to outdo each other. Like that's what it is. It's like who can spend the most money? My 50-foot box trailer with one SX50 in it. Like come on, guys, seriously.
But that's the way it is though. But you say that, but if you had a kid and you wanted to go pro and you had cash,
You have to
do it.
now because it's a perpetual cycle.
You do it. So it is what it is. I don't see it ever changing.
Well, I got no cash and no kid.
so
You can worry about either of those things.
I got a kid and I'm running out of cash because of you guys.
I'm on that vet program.
Vet spec.
I love vet programs. It
Best.
smells like race fuel and
coatings.
Dude, speaking of race fuel and these bastards, I finally got to run my 2-stroke with race
Oh, I did it rev harder and
and
for longer.
hot damn, it was nice. It
Elf
was
makes
so different.
The best stuff on the
So
market.
different.
Actually, Andy messaged me like when I put up a video.
Vance
on
Whalen.
Insta. Yeah, Andy Vanderpants. Yeah, he messaged me and was like, "Dude, your 125's fast."
Yeah.
He goes, "What have you done?" I was like, "Dude, I've done nothing.
Race
It's the
fuel,
same as
baby."
everyone else's in race fuel." And he was like, "Race
Race
fuel."
fuel.
Yeah.
And-
But dude, like I thought it was you were kind of like juicing it up, like you're gonna run, man, like racing the 125 yesterday.
Dude, there
Just
you go.
that
First
that
hand.
little bog and just how crisp and how hard it
Linear
went.
just makes it all
Oh, it
better.
it felt like I was riding the 150.
Yeah.
Because there was that annoying bog wasn't there. Like when you big bore a 125, it kind of gets rid of that
Yep.
that crap. But man,
And that's the thing. And
I
like-
just railroaded the topic that we were talking about because I looked at that and
'Cause
my
I'm race
ADHD
fuel.
brain just disappeared.
But it's a good segue because,
But
like we
man-
said last, $4.95 a litre for the 102,
Yeah.
$6.95 for the 100.
Is it $6.95 or $5.95?
I think it's $6.95
No, it's $5.95.
with the can, and then $5. I don't know.
Whatever it is.
I don't know, man.
But it's not like the others on the market that are $16.95 a litre.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like
ain't got
it's,
16
no one's got it. That's why people get scared of it. Don't be scared. Just don't race on it because it's not homologated. So if you're a weekend warrior like we are,
Hell yeah.
you do a little bit of vet Viper racing or a little bit of this, a little bit with a $20 trophy.
Do everybody behind you a favour and run it.
Yeah,
Right, so they
exactly.
can
Please.
smell it.
Exactly.
It's incredible and it's just way better for you.
So good.
Okay, now
back on the topic of outdoors.
let's have a look. This is I agree with this, and I think we've all got to get, like I said, the Aussie spirit and dinky die, and off we go. Support, happy days,
We're
right?
all immigrants here, besides that one, but
Yeah.
Why are you going to go racial?
it's not racial, bro.
Hunter, only a 250 champ.
Yep.
I think that's 100% accurate.
Nope. I agree.
I agree.
Nope.
I think
I love being the one to just piss his face off.
I think he's fast, yes, but he's not jet fast. He's not.
No,
Like,
he's not.
it's-
He's not. But you know who also wasn't RV fast? Ryan Dungey. I'm not saying Hunter is like that level of consistent, but
Hunter
there
will
will
give
be-
him a
No,
run.
but there will be a time where Jet makes a mistake. The way we're looking at it right now probably is that Jet's literally going to win 2023, 2024, 2025, and he can. But all it takes is one dickhead to cross jump him or one dickhead to
that's
T-bone and break his femur.
100%. That's the
And then
sport.
Hunter, when he's in the 450 class, that dude's a dog. He's a dog because he's not as fast as his brother, but he's a dog, and I rate it. I
But
like Hunter.
is he?
I don't not like.
No, don't use that as my argument. I'm just saying the grit that he's got, he can do it. I wholeheartedly believe
I don't
he
think
can
he can do it.
If he can win this outdoor series, he 100% can, because that outdoor series would be hard for Jet right now. Jet wouldn't dog walk that the 250 class at the moment.
What, against Deegan and Cooper?
Yeah,
I
I don't see him dog walking it.
I think you'd have.
If he doesn't
I think
hold shot.
I think you'd have both of them covered. Those
He-
hard
he
cars.
would have them covered.
Unless Deegan just railed him off.
Deegan's got-
Yeah.
Deegan
doesn't give a shit.
100%.
Deegan's is sort of where Jet was a couple of years ago. That all care and no
Nah,
responsibility.
Deegan and Jet totally different.
Yeah.
Deegan is a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's uncalculated. He's still a little bit uncalculated. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
right.
Like he's taking risks
He's
where it's not that
crazy
I can
hard.
come second, so I can come first next week. You know what I mean? There's not that.
I don't know, dude. I
don't know, man.
He got second in the championship because he just rode out his fifths and fourths and thirds
Yeah,
and fifths.
that's true.
I think, and I'm probably looking too far ahead because he's literally 17, but Jet's style when he was on a 250 was perfect for a 450.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Everybody says
You put Hayden on a 450 with the way he revs the tits out of that thing. That's like a
Dude,
broken neck
I,
waiting to happen.
I
love
watched. I watched. Well, I don't know which one it was. One of the Deegan videos
4,000
from how
vlogs.
long ago it
the
was.
day 7.
But they would test.
1,200
They
million
put
views.
him on the 450, the new 450, and he was smoking Cooper at the test track.
Really?
Yeah.
He's faster than Cooper though. Like,
Yeah, but even like you
Yeah.
say that
That's-
on the 450,
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
gets wild.
Yeah.
Like
But-
he was smoking him on
Yeah.
the 450.
So Hunter's going to be 450s next year.
I don't know.
I would say so,
You
yeah.
say and how many years
Nah,
has
he'll
Deegan
defend
got?
his
3?
250.
3 seasons
Oh yeah, no,
before Deegan makes
Supercross
it?
Supercross he'll do another 250, and then I reckon they'll put him on 450s for
For
outdoor.
outdoor. So they'll do what they're doing with Jet this year, but next year.
Hunter,
Yeah, 100%.
And then what's Deegan got? Another 3 years before he's starting to get in the fold?
Remember, man, he's 17.
I don't know, man.
He might point
I
out
reckon-
though.
Dude, Deegan.
I think they got rid of that point
Did
system.
they?
Yeah,
I think they, yeah, because it was
That's
just roads.
Oh yeah, because Christian Craig came back at the age of 47.
Yeah.
Well, fucking Jeremy Martin's.
Yeah.
Was in and now out.
Same thing. Yeah, he's out now.
But yeah, I reckon Deegan could possibly take Supercross next year
Yeah,
against Hunter.
Yeah,
reckon?
I think so.
So this is what I'm saying. Hunter's had his time, but is Deegan now just going to leapfrog Hunter and
Nah.
then flow in and take on from when Jet retires, and then he's the next 450 guy?
No.
It's,
You don't reckon?
It's hard. It's a hard one to say.
He's
but
also
I
17.
honestly don't reckon Hunter's going to win a 450 championship.
You don't reckon?
No.
Two or Soupy or Moto?
Neither.
Either.
No.
I think he has an outdoor in him.
I don't reckon he'll get
He's outdoors. Yeah, like I say, I love outdoors. Bring
No.
back Emmy.
Yeah, but we're not talking about how much you love outdoors. We're
We're
talking
talking
about
about
if
if
Hunter
Hunter
going
can
to win
win.
a 450 championship.
Might watch
But
some
I
races
do,
outdoors
I do think
tonight.
that Hayden.
Again.
You know what's ironic in the what I'm about to say? Hayden had so much hype that people doubted him, right? Like he was that hyped up that you had a lot of people that didn't think he was that good. If you look at what he's done objectively, and see, okay, he's 17, he's won a moto in outdoors. He got second in the, was it second or third in the Supercross? I think it was second because Max Anstey didn't get it. No, it was Sexton. He got second in the Supercross season, his debut season.
Yeah.
At 17, he's doing shit that's like on par with Jet. I know the riding
he's
style.
on the same trajectory.
Yeah. So it's like
100%.
if you look at Deegs, man, like
he's on.
he'll be.
He's 100 on.
It'll be. I think it'll be Deeg and Jet. Like that's.
Yeah,
how
100%. I don't think Hunter's. I think
That's
Hunter's.
the future.
Yeah.
Like for the next 5, 6 years.
I think that's where we're going to see. I think
Yeah.
Hunter's just going to get tumbled over. Unfortunate, but I just don't think he has that.
It's one of them things that as
No one's allowed to
Aussies,
say
no
it.
one wants to say
No,
it.
but someone
But-
has to look at it from a realistic point of
and
view.
I mean, everyone goes. The worst part is everyone goes, oh, blah, 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 Jet. Yeah, but Hunter. Like it's never like Hunter Jet. It's always the other way around. And then everyone's like, oh, fuck. I feel like I better say something about Hunter.
Hunter.
Otherwise,
oh, just
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We're all going to get in trouble, but that's fine.
Except me, because I defended the shit out of Hunter.
No.
No, I'm kidding. But no, like I just
He's
my,
a dude, but
the reason I say what I
Did you read
say.
got a ride for him?
Jesus, you got no respect.
No, here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It might be in W Super Duper.
Yeah,
Super duper extra karate motocross.
But I just think like the grit he's shown in how many times he's gone down, had to come back up.
There's
gone
no
down.
doubt.
I just, and
100%.
you know what I think too, as the way I see his attitude, you can tell he has a chip on his shoulder.
Oh,
And
he's cocky.
Who did
That's
he,
like-
who
that's
did
how
he
he
get taken
said-
out by last year? And he was literally
Nate
went up
Thrasher,
start-
he-
Yeah,
he
it's like, and
really
Nate
killed
wasn't
him.
even like it wasn't even his fault. It's like, dude, just relax.
No, that was sick. I don't like
Just
Nate.
relax.
But like that chip on his shoulder, and if you can relate it to yourself in any way,
Gotta
like
be a
when I
little
used to bodybuild, I did because I was bodybuilding at the time with a mate who was a year and a half older than me, and just always that bit bigger,
Schmuckston
like a
bigger.
schmuckston bigger, and it used to like not eat at me, but it used to piss me off.
Yeah.
Like he and I loved him too. Like he was like a brother to me. We grew up together from when we were 14, and that pushed me to win shows. And I just see like, man, Hunter. I know you can't like. I maybe outworked him in lifting things up and down, and Jet has natural talent that's freaky. But I just still think Hunter's got one in him.
What
Not a
happens
lot.
though when Hunter and Jet are both on 450 Honda, and one of them fucking
Gets into the other one.
shit gets real?
Dude, they're
Dad
already
comes in.
they've already got family therapy sessions pre-booked.
Like, but what
really?
happens then? Like when it's because obviously they're both going to be 450 Honda at one point.
Yeah.
Are they though?
They will be.
Or do you reckon
But
Hunter's
what
going to
happens
get
when Hunter gets the ass and Honda or
He gets a bigger chip on his shoulder.
But
And
hey,
goes hard.
Hunter have let go of bigger names before. Jet could.
Hang on, but
Jet's not-
never like literal brothers. Literal
no, this
brothers.
has never happened.
Yeah.
No.
This is a new
And the crazy thing is, we've gotten so used to saying, "Oh, Hunter and Jet won."
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it's going to be Hunter and Jet.
And then my
In the
favourite
450.
part is that Australian media doesn't give half a shred of a shit
No.
to promote it.
No.
Where
Why
these
would
they're
we?
literally doing things that have never been
It's
done.
history.
Because we've got
It's
to.
literally rewriting history, and
But
we're
what?
like,
There's
oh,
guys
last week in the AFL,
There's guys out there
North
kicking.
Melbourne
There's
beats
guys
Melbourne.
out there kicking footies.
Yeah, I know.
Sick.
Yeah, like,
I love your short shorts.
yeah.
Speaking of getting paid, this is going
Dude,
south.
when someone goes, "Oh, what footy team do you follow?"
Who?
I don't know. They're like, "What do you mean?" Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Like
I can play devil's advocate. I like footy.
You
I
like footy,
soccer,
but
I like
like-
rugby. I like sport.
When I'm at work, when I'm tattooing, and someone goes, "Oh,
Who do
you
you
watch
follow
the,
from the
watch the footy on the weekend?" I'm like,
Sick.
"Cool."
yes.
Just completely block the conversation. Just shut it down
But
instantly.
we're hyper motocross fans.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like if you looked at it, our sort of interest in
wrong.
motor, it's not correct.
It's not healthy.
It's not correct.
Because I'll go riding. So Friday night, I'm messaging Marshall. You guys flat out.
Dude, you're
about it.
messaging me at the track.
Yeah, I know.
You go home and
And
you're
then
still
my
messaging me.
poor wife's got my newborn just sitting there on the couch. I'm messaging Marshall the night before. Then we go ride. Then I get home. Then I message Marshall when I get home.
And we're
talking
not
about it.
messaging each other on the way home because I'm driving.
No, we're driving.
Don't do that.
Responsible. And
Don't
then
do that.
after that, I
You're
have
a
a shower.
fucking idiot.
Then I play MX vs ATV, messaging Marshall, and somehow I'm still married. So
See, I haven't seen my
Good
wife
wife.
for weeks.
very, very good. 2 years gone strong. Let's
I
go.
haven't seen my wife for weeks.
She was
She may have-
with you yesterday.
She was literally at the
Yeah,
races.
she's still. Yeah. You idiot.
she may have left me. I don't know.
Well, she's not here tonight.
But she's not.
Oh, I'm just gonna
The car's gone.
I've got a work meeting.
Oh, I've left your steak
Sure
in the
you did.
fridge and there's some veggies there. Oh yeah, sick.
There's a microwave
Sick.
meal.
Uber Eats.
Yeah. Like I said, one day the shed lights will just go off. and there'll be no one here.
And you realise that she used to pay the bills,
Yep.
and now you don't know how to pay
Exactly
the
right.
bills.
AP. He's just not. It's not going to happen for AP. He just keeps getting screwed over.
But he's
I
a
think.
dude.
He is a
He's
dude.
a dude.
He is a dude.
You know who AP is? The new Dean Wilson.
No, he's
Dude.
no, but
he's
Wilson
everybody
never did
loves
it,
him though.
But Wilson was never as competitive as AP in 450.
No, but like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Like
You know what? The other thing that sucks, right? That I was thinking about the other day. There are certain riders, and I can relate this to the UFC. If anyone watches UFC, if Daniel Cormier, you're looking at me so blank. If Daniel Cormier
Who does he
existed,
ride for?
what Daniel is
Daniel
calling
White.
you?
if Daniel Cormier, now you're freaking Daniel Blair didn't fight John Jones. If John Jones never existed, because you've all heard of John Jones.
Who does she ride for?
He's black.
I'm trying to make a good point.
Yeah, it's going
There
well
are
for you,
certain,
isn't it?
yeah. If a certain person didn't exist, they'd be the greatest of all time.
Yes.
And then you look at people
There'd
like
be a lot of them if RC didn't exist.
Don't
yeah,
you
it
tell me
does.
that, I'll say it.
I don't like that.
That's
My man.
Time that yet.
Yeah, I haven't got to that. But
I feel like yeah.
like AP, if Tomac wasn't around, and like he could be right there with Chase in the Supercross. Like you saw it, he has the speed to do it, but it's just like
And
he
then
just
he has the
not
cartwaheels to do it.
exactly. You can do the smackadoos.
Just smack it.
And it's the same. Like you can go through every generation of like top tier riders.
But I mean, those guys. I mean, I hate to say it. You look at them as a commodity for like a business point of view. Well, they will expire. Their time for that big team will expire, and then they just sort of wander down into
I don't know.
privateers.
I think AP's got a bit more shelf life.
But how much more
Yeah,
advice
but how
are you
long
going
has
to put
it
into
taken
it?
him to get to where he is now? Like from his 250s,
It's been
right?
2 years.
Huh?
It's only been 2 years.
Yeah, but it feels like it's been forever that because he just did nothing. Like
Yeah.
right out of 250s, he just did
Yeah,
nothing.
because he like broke his
It's
tailbone
a little bit like Malcolm Stewart.
looping out the 350
Oh,
like
I can't
backflipping.
even talk about Malk. He's my boy.
My man. Oh, go easy on the drum there, Holmes. It's one of the bodies.
But then
Trying
it's
to get
true
out.
though, and like, yeah, it's hard. Like I love AP, and that's the problem. Like you mentioned, like he's just a dude. Everyone loves him, and no one wants to have
It's,
like
well,
a
it's
frank
like,
chat.
what's his fucking name? What's the dude that was a rapper? What's his name?
Rapper.
Chuckles.
Oh, 7 Double Deuce.
Yeah,
He
dudes
sucked.
He
but
was
everyone
one of
loved
them,
him.
but everybody
Yeah.
loved him. You know what I mean?
We say he sucked. He was only like the 18th
oh, he's
best in the
hell,
world.
still
every
fast
Supercross.
as hell.
Yeah.
But I mean, in comparison to everybody else,
Yeah.
everybody just saw him as the dude.
The
They
dude.
didn't see him as like
It's
the
like
competitive
Chiz, dude.
guy.
Like I love
Everybody
Chiz.
loves Chiz
Everyone
as
loves
well.
Chiz.
I don't think you can be loved if you're fast. You have to be cutthroat. You have to be isolated. You
Everyone
have
loves
to.
Jet.
Jet's one of those
He's
wonderful
self-taught,
guys.
so-
Yeah.
Conversation that just
Disappeared,
down the
yeah.
Did you
wall.
hear the podcast? I'm going to talk smack about the podcast and just not name. Do you hear the podcast? They were like having a dig that he sells donuts when he's in an influential position. That he should be promoting something.
Yeah, it's
healthier.
sick. He's making a fortune.
Dude, imagine
out of it.
having a broomstick that far up your arsehole. That's how you talk
Yeah.
about a 19-year-old
Dude.
making money.
And that's the issue. Is
Jesus.
It's like, oh my god, we can't eat donuts. I'm into donuts.
No, I'm in the
Donuts?
Yeah,
But
but
like,
give a shit if you're an
it's a-
athlete.
it's
He just started a
marketing.
business. Yeah,
he's
anyway,
burning
so-
that many calories a week. It ain't gonna matter.
Bro, that's not even the point.
I know,
It's
kids
if he
eating
wants to-
rubbish.
He ate. He's there.
We grew up on juice boxes.
He's still.
You know what I mean?
still
It's just sugar in a box. We
Did
did
you
that
see-
okay.
I watched his post race press conference, and he's such a kid. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot to eat in between Moto 1 and Moto 2, and then I had a really dry mouth, and it was hard to get through the second Moto. You could see Webb and Webb and Ferrandis' face was just like, I'm literally sitting here next to a 4-year-old.
But you know what the worst part would have been? They would have had all their supplements
dude.
or whatever
IV
between
drip.
motos,
Yeah,
and
dude.
they'd have been like, this motherfucker didn't even eat.
Yeah,
And he's still here.
He's running on empty and still smoking.
literally, man.
Alright.
Yeah. Also, the AP thing. The guys at Hangtown, you don't water a track that hard, that beat up midway through the day.
You don't water-
prep it better at the start.
You don't,
Dude,
wa-
they did that. No, doesn't matter.
you don't water a track mid-race.
They did
You
it.
just don't.
They
It's
did it
stupid
yesterday.
and
Spray it.
They
dangerous.
did it yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
I got showered.
Yeah, sick. Yes.
We mentioned privateers getting out, but
Should we go to the Ricky and Blair thing?
one more thing, I just wanted to make a point and scold you two. We had a note on this podcast schedule about Ferrandis being shit. He's not.
He is.
He's
But
not.
Anyway.
He's not. Like,
Who?
yeah, you both probably think, because I'm the person that watches copious amounts of YouTube about news on motocross. When he got injured at Daytona, they didn't just
He wasn't racing, which was great.
they didn't just say, "Oh, just take the year off and focus on the outdoors." He had to go and see a brain Scientologist in France, and he had
France. What are you going back to France?
Because they
didn't have him in America.
They couldn't understand what he was saying. They don't have doctors every day. They cost $400 million an hour in the US.
Yeah, exactly.
Free in France.
But yeah, he went there and he had some serious problems. So he wasn't spending the whole time prepping and training and testing. He's still testing because the new chassis on the 450 on the new YZ, he's still not comfy. So there's like a few things. I'm not saying
pillow on it.
Bigger seat, softer seat, softer springs.
I'm trying to defend this guy.
Donuts on
I'm going to watch this podcast, so I'm just getting the shit canned out of me. But no, like Ferrandis, I think he'll get. I think by mid-season, it'll be jet.
Well, he's not shit. He's won.
No,
he's not a bad
But like,
rider.
I still think once he's comfy, he will separate himself from AP and Webb. In my opinion, he will. Once he's comfy, dude. Nah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I reckon.
I
reckon he kind of will too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ferrandis is one of them fucking people as well.
Outdoor
He's a dog as well.
Yeah, dude.
He's a dog with a bone.
Yeah.
You've seen it when he won his championship.
Yeah.
He'd be fucking
30th.
75,000th, and then just all the way to the end of the moto and win.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck? Where did
He's
he even
sick.
come from?
Like, I don't know. I like him, but
I don't like him, but I can appreciate
his talent.
how he
He's
rides.
fast. He has got speed.
He's
he knows
he's
how to ride
fast
dirt
and
too.
he's got that dog in him. Like
Yeah.
he won't.
it's sort of like Webb, but I just think he has more natural talent than Webb on an outdoor track. On an outdoor track.
Like I said, outdoors are great.
I think he's got more raw speed.
Yeah, raw speed.
That's where you don't need. We need finesse, but you don't need as much finesse on an outdoor track.
You
as
say
you do on
that,
a
you say that,
but
but
then
look
they're
at
talking about Jet.
but look at
cruising
Jet
around
and Chase.
bouncing off shit and just fairy farting around and just doing whatever.
Doubling into
and he's
braking
like,
bumps.
oh, it's a braking bump.
Double.
Oh, there's a little bit
Meanwhile, those braking bumps are this tall.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
traveling
doubles.
Vipers, they're like this, and I'm just like, oh, this is coming in the corner.
Oh my god, a braking bump! Look at it, hit it! Boom!
Ricky and Blair.
Ricky and Blair. Did this just get skirted around?
Yeah,
What's
What's
going?
this?
Have you heard anything else about it now?
Well, no, not enough.
Do we have
Cooksey Media I think he's trying to do an interview with DB, but there was a video that went out. It was when they do like VIP passes for the Super Duper
Cross.
This is for anybody that doesn't.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't
hasn't
know.
seen it.
And I think
might not get to see
if
it.
your editing skills are adequate,
No
hopefully
shit.
you can find a clip and play just a small clip.
I might be able to find something.
Yeah, you will.
Oh,
But he was just being a really entitled dickhead to Daniel Blair.
Yeah, that was.
It was really gross to watch.
Yeah.
It's one of two things. It's either very good banter,
It's not though, because Blair left.
it's hateful.
Blair resigned,
Yeah.
and from the guy that I was listening to all this stuff happening, they've said it's like it happens.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
and that's why Emmy's not in the booth.
But
Really?
after
Yeah.
we had this conversation originally, when we saw it in the group chat,
Yeah.
I was not driving and searching for videos.
Pulled over.
Anything. I
You pulled over, turned the car off, put the handbrake on.
grabbed my phone and done some quick research, and apparently back in 2021, I don't know, it must have been, they were at the end of a race or something talking about LCQs,
Yeah.
and I don't know who, but someone asked Ricky like what it's like to be in an LCQ, and not as a piss take, just the feeling of what it is to
the
be...
pressure.
The pressure. And
I love an LCQ. I reckon the main event should just be a whole lot of
20 minutes of
LCQs.
LCQ.
20 minutes.
We
We have this
LCQs.
conversation every weekend. That we
Love them.
But
Best racing out.
yeah, so Ricky said, "Oh, I've only ever been in 2 in my life. You're probably better off asking Daniel Blair because he was in them all the time, or some shit like that."
He belittles him a lot.
So it was like a stab at him right off the bat, and then that disappeared as well.
Yeah.
From the media.
Listen, though,
yeah.
if you think about the Feld Motorsports, the guys that own the whole shit, they've pretty much got their thumb on whether it's Pulp, whether it's Racer X, whether it's all these Motocross Action Mag, all the guys that release media stuff. So it makes it look bad. Because if this was, I don't know, the EPL, the soccer in England, if there was a commentator in a big sport that enough eyes saw it, he'd be gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter of his reputation, he'd be gone. But because they've got their thumb on all these media outlets, that video is
They've got a lot of money invested in Ricky.
Yeah, dude. And
Big biscuits.
and so they can sort of control how much that video gets out and how much people report on it. Like if you might not like the way he talks, but this guy Cooksey Media, he has got no press passes because he speaks his mind on a lot of the stuff that Fell do. And like I share a lot of his opinions because I think Fell do a real shit job of looking after the riders. But it just hasn't got around because of...
You talk about our sport being backwards, we're still 20 years behind in every gamut of it.
100%. Because the sport is big enough to have these big independent media. Like, you know, you guys won't know because you only know one sport, but like Ariel Helwani is a guy who reports on the UFC.
Is that Little Mermaid?
Yeah. Dude.
Ariel.
But he...
Oh, that's the Hawaiian.
Moama.
Like, he got dropped from the UFC for apparently leaking some information about a big fight event that Dana wanted to release at the fight. Whatever. He didn't actually do it. He didn't leak it.
They just
pinned it on him. So then he got dropped by the UFC. But their sport was big enough. It's bigger than motocross and supercross. But he's got his own...
bigger than motocross and supercross?
Well, you don't know who Ariel Helwani... I can guarantee
You
that.
can't even say the name.
I can say the name.
Ariel helmet.
Ariel helmet.
Is that
Aero helmet.
Helmet.
Yeah, but like he's big enough to then have a say that enough people heard it and can get around it. But DB, and now he's left the booth, he's resigned.
I think there's that booth would be a pretty mentally unhealthy place to be. With the workload, with the research you're doing, how you've got to be on the polls from a media point of view.
And then getting belittled by a midget.
I don't know.
A tubby midget. It pisses me off. I don't it's a belittling thing because you know the worst part, and I sound like I feel emotional for this because I almost do. But like RC's got that GOAT status where DB would have wanted to say something and sort his shit out.
Well, you could tell that he was like,
he
was back.
Yeah, because you can't, because he's the GOAT and everyone will jump down your throat, even if you're being a dick. 100%. And that's what watching the clip. I really encourage everyone to watch the clip.
I'll see if I can dig it up and get it.
You just immediately lose so much respect.
It was cringy, like you watch it.
I think Moto Bacon posted it.
You just watching Ricky say the shit that he was saying. And
you can see
and he kept going,
but you were just like, dude, shut
that's
the fuck
unnecessary.
up.
And he's doing it in a crowd of people. It's like, you know the it's in movies where there's two dudes and there's some girls walking past and a guy will belittle. I'm a teenager, fucking piss off. But like they'll belittle their friend to impress someone else. It was like the same vibe when it was.
But you hear the crowd laughing, but you've got to think about it. They're VIPs, so they're not. They probably
thought it was a joke,
or they're probably people that have high up in a corporate stature. Or they're probably not silly people, so they're going to look at it. They're going to laugh, and they're probably going to look at Ricky in a different light as well.
I just remember seeing one dude in the video. Oh, sorry, one lady. Yeah, and she was laughing. And I was just like.
Yeah, dude, that's not funny.
Shut the fuck up.
You got no idea.
And it was just super unnecessary. Yeah. And the worst part, and if you watch it, is that DB was recording his segment, and then Ricky chose that jump on the rhythm section.
He even said that. He goes, "What? You couldn't choose another jump?" And he's like, "Oh,
I wanted to take him to the highest point or whatever." Exactly. And it was just like, "You're a dick, dude." Like it was just super unnecessary.
My respect levels.
I went through the floor
at this point, not knowing
the full story.
It's a hard one.
It's like my respect levels until I know the full story for Ricky it's definitely
for me. It's really hard because
you are literally
you're an RC.
You've ridden that thing for a long time. You got monkey butt from riding for a long time.
Like I love, obviously as we know, I love my pro circuit Cowies and Ricky's career and all that sort of stuff. So welcome to it.
Second-hand podcast.
You gotta get that monkey running on that wheel faster. Just letting the power run out.
So it's really hard for me because I'm like, whoa, now I've actually got to do I either just follow him from his riding or do I look at it from a fan, a deeper point of view? You know, my ultimate dude is MC and he's smooth as butter, man. He doesn't upset no one. He's just casual as, fast and just a good dude. Anyway, moving on.
Did we want to touch on Parler or not?
Parler got rough, man.
Parler always gets
rough. Dude, that looked rough.
Parler is like, Parler's like
and deep.
Deep.
Yeah. I think it's a sick track though. The undulations and the changes.
Yeah. You know how hard that place is?
I've never been.
We rode there in 2018, and I would say I'm quite a confident rider. Yeah. I fucking struggled. To be fair, I broke my back there. Didn't know, but I broke my back there.
I ain't paying no US medical prices to get home on aspirin.
I got out on that track and just went, yep. I'm way in over my head.
So me being the pro vet track rider,
no.
There's like track. They do have like a
vet track,
like intermediate.
And it's like main ride park.
No, it was like little. It was like you get. It's like
You either have
it's going.
this or you have this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go from like you like
400-foot triple.
I'm going to ride Fox Raceway. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm going to go sit over in the car park and
Yeah.
ride this little donut.
Little
track.
figure eight track.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was wild.
I want to do Glen Helen. That's one track from
I want to do those
from
uphills and
That's
downhills.
the one track I didn't roll.
a
Oh.
vintage wanker. I want to do Glen
Man.
Helen.
Dude, I want
That's
to do
so
that
much
just
fun.
solely. It looks sick.
Dude,
Why that's not on the circuit does my head in. I
I don't know what's going on there. There's doing a lot of
Because
racing
I'm not
there.
a massive fan of watching Fox Raceway. Never have been. Or playing it on MX TV Legends, if anyone wants to know. I don't like playing it.
See, I've got a friend of mine in the
That
US.
dumb switchback. Is
Yeah,
stupid.
dude, it's
I don't
annoying.
like
A friend of mine in the
It
US. goes,
resets you
I love it.
all the
It's
time.
dumb.
You guys. Are a friend of mine in the US who actually does a lot of the vintage stuff with Cowie parts and bits and pieces. I'm not going to name names, but he was racing. He was racing at Glen Helen recently, and it just looked
Sick.
like
It's
fun.
wild.
Like
That-
it
those
looked
hills?
up
Yeah.
hills.
No,
The downhill, the uphill would
Yeah.
be just sick
It's
swinging
wild.
off it. The downhill, I'd be like,
But you know the crazy thing is, you listen to Pastrana talk about it. He said he could go as fast as he needed to overtake someone. He just had to justify the risk at the end. So he could go down those downhills, and if he needed to go faster,
that's
he could go faster.
Nope.
He just needed to make sure that the risk, the reward, the juice was worth the squeeze.
yeah.
I'd be third gear, engine brake.
Second gear, engine brake,
Yeah,
right?
just chilling.
That track's gnarly.
We were going to have our
Marigold.
Marigold, our young
Our
little friend
Marigold.
on, but he actually works an honest job
Hey, so do
and has to. And he's
I
at
don't know,
work.
man. After
I don't
that
know.
chat we had yesterday about some stuff, I don't know how honest your job is.
I.
No jokes.
Yeah,
Everything
so
is above board.
we were going to have him on, but he's obviously can't make it in. But we will have him on because he is a fairly competent rider. He's a very good at explaining how to ride. So we're going to do a little bit of rider.
We're just not talented enough
Enough to listen,
Take
or take it on.
into it.
Put your leg out.
Nah.
Forgot.
Break later.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hold it in faster. Roll speed. Yes, Ethan.
Nah,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
But
we'll get him on.
we'll get him on. Yeah, I think we're going to start having guests on here. We're going to start doing a lot of that sort of stuff, which is going to be really cool. We've got some pretty cool names that want to
Like
get
James
involved.
Stewart.
Ricky Carmichael.
Ricky Carmichael. We're not having MC.
Nah.
No.
Yeah, of course we're having
No.
it.
Only if he wears those glasses, I'm really young. He used to wear these like little.
And he has to have his frosted tips. Otherwise he's not allowed to come. That's the rule.
making demands.
That's the rule.
No, I don't want. I want Tony Alessi in here. Imagine how sick that'd be. The stories you get out
Him
of
and Urive do a joint conference. We should try and get Urive on,
That'd be pretty sick.
No, never gonna happen.
even on a phone call.
He's on about 19 phone calls all the
He
time.
hasn't
Yeah.
slept for 3 days.
Yeah. Like if you rang him now, it would be a phone. He'd be on a phone call.
Dude works
Just
like a
on
dog.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He works very hard. And he's done a lot.
Yeah.
Achieved a lot as well. So this is the Monday after Traralgon. We had our first attended Viper race, not the first Viper race of the series. So for those of you who don't know, Viper is our Victorian vintage motocross club. Everything from pre-78 all the way up to modern. You can run modern 4-strokes, there's classes for that. Really good atmosphere. We were at Traralgon, which is a sandy track.
Sick track.
Lot of, not a lot, but good undulation, really nice flow. Traralgon Motocross Club did an amazing job.
Yeah, and they
yesterday.
prepped that thing so good.
good. Oh.
Like the practice session. The practice session. That was
He
the
needs race fuel.
best.
he's on the lightweight race fuel. The low
Yeah,
octane.
but
Get rid of that bob.
how good was practice? Like it was freshly groomed, and just every corner. Yeah.
Had you already left? Because they groomed the track again.
Did they?
At the last moto, the track was
No,
like at that
my
top,
hip cooked it. In
that top
the second
corner
one.
as you come back down the hill.
Oh really? They
That was like
groomed
a
it.
speedway.
Oh yeah, I hurt my hip. But yeah, nah, it was such a good track.
Yeah.
Such
I
a
didn't
good
ride it.
track.
I'm not a racer, I'm a mechanic through and through.
I am
So
a racer,
I like
I
watching
I'm
and
a
prepping.
Yeah, dude. At my starts was sick. My first start. So the funny thing, leading up to this week,
Your first start was sick.
I've only raced one other time, and it was at
I
Rosebud.
thought you raced when you were a kid.
No.
Yeah,
never.
when he was a kid. He
When I was a kid.
2 years ago.
Yeah. No, I've never. I told you that I've never raced.
Oh,
I've done one.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I did a club day at Rosebud
Oh.
when I was 15 on that RM125. My first ever gate drop.
That's a big day on an RM125.
No, the junior
That's
track's
a seriously big day on.
The main track would never do it on a 125. But first gate drop, never raced. I had like iron-on numbers. I didn't have like a proper jersey print on a concrete
You had
start.
jersey prints?
No, I had an iron.
You had iron-on prints, you idiot.
Like
They
footy
had
numbers.
jersey prints back in the day. Only the pros had those.
Anyway, I whole shot on my first motor off a concrete start. So I was like, go and use this. I'm like, dude, I'm one for one.
He was so confident.
I was like, dude, I got this. Wheel spun the ever-living Christ, and then ended up basically facing the wrong way.
So I was next to him.
And he just kept shifting away.
We're both like sitting on the line. 15-second board goes. We're ready to go.
Gate drops.
Gate drops, and I'm like, I look left, and I'm like,
where'd Gozzo
fucking
go?
Gozzo go?
Meanwhile, I'm facing Kane, who was sweeping the gate. But nah, it was so much fun though. And then like nearly looped out the 350 when I raced the 350. I mean, stayed.
Did you get
the photo?
Yeah, I sent you
the photo, man. I'm just blaming the Starcross 6s out of fresh tyres, and
Even
it
on that
wasn't my
concrete
clutch
gate.
control.
Even on that concrete gate, they're just wheels.
Yeah, dude, that
It was
they
about
have good
46
tyres,
PSI we put in it.
yeah. So I knew he said, "Oh, I didn't do the PSI in your tyres. I just loaded the dog up." And I'm like, "All right, sick."
I popped the bead at about 9 million PSI.
I'm sitting on the gate for the first moto.
Thing
on it.
rolled unreal.
I'm sitting on the gate for the first moto, and I realised two things. I hadn't pissed yet, and I needed to piss.
Dude, I needed to shit in the second motor. It's so bad.
And then the other thing, I was like, oh shit, I didn't air out my tyres. And I was like, he couldn't have been that bad. Anyway, I did the moto, and for some reason, I didn't go down, thank God. But my front, I was like, hey, my front end, I do not have a tyre on the front. Like, I had nothing.
Yeah, 'cause
no feeling.
like
So then I go there,
400
in
million
between
bits.
motos, I'm like, I'll do what I had to do. I air it out. There was like 38 PSI on my front
Hey.
tyre on a sand track.
I did let some out.
Yeah,
How
but
it
fair.
didn't
Well, we-
explode the tyre when you gas the thing up is beyond
No,
me.
dude, that thing had like 90 in it when I pumped it up. So I had to pump the bead. And then I was like, I'll let some out because it's literally...
Had to seal off the pinch tube somehow.
It's legit. So I done the old screwdriver and said...
15
yeah, it's
PSI.
about 15.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was
Yeah,
way
so it was
more
like
than 15.
38, and then the rear had like 25, and then the next motor on it, that thing bit. Like,
Oh,
it was
would've.
nuts. It bit then, but yeah, it was. I had a ball. The only problem I had was just the air forks, dude. Like they are the worst things they've ever produced.
They're definitely...
But you loved him at Cruisix the other week, didn't you?
Cruisix is...
Nah, I didn't-
Oh, you
Cruisix...
didn't?
No,
Oh.
I tolerated it cruising
Oh, right. I thought
because there's no jumps that are sizable. Not that there were big jumps there, but I think the braking bumps.
The Air
And
Force
just-
one, I feel like the Air Force, KTM invested big dollars and they just had to commit to it.
Yeah,
Like
but
we've
now
got this thing for...
the 24
however many
HCs are going spring, and I reckon it's only a matter of time.
25s, it'll be...
100%.
Yeah, because they'll just be
Yeah.
digesting whatever
Because
stock they've got
I did.
left. and
I've
then-
done
yeah.
like you guys obviously know, but I cartridge converted the 350. Never ever doing anything different because it's the best. And then I've had the conversation with you guys. I was like, oh, I do the 125, but I don't ride enough. But I think if I'm gonna do some races on it, and I think just in general, I'm gonna do it.
What are you going to do in the one... Are you going to do the WP cartridges?
We're
or
going to do
KYBs?
KYB.
Nah, I'm not gonna do KYBs in it. If I do KYBs in anything, it'll be the 350.
Those KYBs, they're good. You've got them in yours.
Yeah.
Oh, they're good.
They're
But,
good
like
for
I'm
it.
not.
Oh, props to us, by the way. Homie that lined up next to us yesterday on the...
CR500.
He was on the 500. He
Dude,
goes,
a mad rate.
dude, your kit forks look sick. And I was like, homie, these ain't kit
Kit
forks.
forks? We coded
These
these.
are G11
He
protected
actually
kit
mine
forks.
too.
Yeah.
On my bike as
Yeah,
well.
so we're doing
We're
what
getting
we're
there.
meant to be
Doing
doing.
something.
Yeah.
You know the
Yeah,
crazy thing
That's
is-
the other thing. I get rid of those pox uppers. They look terrible. I'm a 125.
Speaking of fork coatings, so you know how we've had so much success with the PBD coating, getting this happening for 2 years now. The very first set of PBD lowers we've ever had are on that CR125.
Yeah, but they look pox.
They're still holding
Yeah,
up.
but they look shit.
They're holding up.
Yeah, but they look shit.
But they're not coming off.
But they look shit.
They're not coming off.
Yeah, they look shit.
They're blue.
How many times do you have to get... They're,
I
I wouldn't say they're
apologise.
blue, they're like aqua. Blues.
Well, they held up better than the original lowers of my 350.
Dude,
before I got
that's what I'm
DLC.
saying. They held up.
Yeah.
We're onto something, but we're onto something 2 years ago.
Yeah. we lost sight.
We were onto something.
We nailed it, and then we completely fucked it.
Just black DLCs. That's all we offer.
Oh,
You
that's
just
sick.
get Christian and whack them on.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Taragon was sick.
Yeah, it was really good.
Dragons, like Viper, they've always put on a good show. I mean, if you take the politics out of it, it's great. You know what I mean? But the politics is only there if you let it be there. And
I
then
didn't have no politics. I had a
we did coming in
fucking
because it's taboo putting a fast kid on your bike.
Yeah, but the shit thing was,
He was on the slowest bike humanly
well,
possible.
dude, like if he had have ridden in the right class, the pre-97 class, I just don't know if he would have won.
He was a
There
second
was some
faster
pretty
than
fast
first.
dudes. And
Huh?
He was a second a lap faster than first.
that's not that
But
much.
that's not that much.
On a
Considering
sitting
they
track-
thought, like everybody thought, not this is no discredit to Ethan at all,
No.
but everybody thought he was going to absolutely wax
Even though he's an
everyone.
off-road racer.
Yeah.
And your boy was hot on his ass in the last moto, right down to the finish line.
But yeah, I mean, look, that was a little bit disappointing. But next
It
round,
was very exciting to watch from second last.
next round, he's going in the proper car. I don't care what anyone says. We're just going to do it as it is. You
Where-
know, I'm not
Where's
a.
the next round?
I don't even know Ravenswood. I think it's going to be a little while because Mark and I were talking about trying to get the rest of the round when it's actually not raining.
Can we get him to do, because we want to do the Carmichael club days. It'd be good to get him out there.
He'll race wherever there's races.
Yeah, man, I think that would be, but on a proper bike, not on the 125.
Yeah.
Proper boy.
Not a real bike. From this century.
Poor thing just got absolutely
No, it's
shut,
sick, but
shut down.
No.
Oh, you want to race my sailing fuck? No,
No, I'm
I
not a real
I
bike.
don't want to race that thing.
I'm a real boy.
But I had never seen that. I don't think that CR125 had worked hard
Oh, Jesus.
in it.
Dude, watching that thing was sad. Like, it just looked like it was crying for help.
Oh,
It was just a cry for help the whole time.
Dude.
Is the camera on charge or is it going to die?
No,
Or is it got the battery thing?
Yeah, we've got to back up.
Oh, we're nearly done.
We're getting close.
Yeah, dude.
We're
We're very organised.
So let's move into product review. We've got some good stuff happening.
What do we got, baby?
We have, because I know you guys don't like cleaning air filters, but I do.
Yeah, poison.
I love cleaning air filters.
I
cleaning
feel
air
like we
filters.
need to call in a second opinion on this, but luckily for you, your wife's not here because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
You've destroyed
she
washing
would
machines.
say.
I haven't.
No, that's
He-
Oh,
He
you
doesn't
yeah.
wash
Yeah, but you
stuff.
live on your own. So
He
who gives a
doesn't
shit?
wash it. He just said that.
He just, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wash my air filter. Order 17 new ones.
Yeah. This stuff here, Motec, the foam filter cleaner.
System exhaust.
Yeah.
Like on Fast and Furious.
Yeah, 100%. we were donated a litre of this
I didn't get no litre or no nothing.
because you've got a system already.
What, petrol?
Yeah.
Kerosene? Yeah.
I
yeah,
paid like
petrol.
$30 to wash my air filter every time.
I put a litre of this in a bucket and I washed 5 air filters with it. Grease on them, the whole lot, and it was still good.
wash
to go.
air filters.
I washed 5
So not
air
only does
filters.
it wash air filters, it makes people who are lazy shit.
It was
wash
dude,
air filters.
It was unreal.
God
it was
damn.
so clean. Like it took seconds to wash them and then hose them out. It's all biodegradable. And for the cost of those air filters, it's not even. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
such a dick.
we're on. Like now, this will. Like,
So
yeah,
what you're saying
Dude, no,
is...
full disclosure, I thought it was a joke when you used to say you just ordered it.
No, he do.
No, I know, it's
if
real
you
now.
open the parts cabinet,
There's 400 air filters.
no, you open it and it just goes, and it just fall out everywhere, and then 70,000 spiders.
the parts
He
guy.
doesn't wash. He doesn't know. And like you
So,
say it in front of Steph,
props
and
to
she's just
Motec.
like,
I know she gets fired up. That's how I found out he wasn't bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
Because Steph does not bullshit.
No.
Yeah, so props to Motec for getting his lazy ass to actually start.
Dude,
washing
this stuff's
the air
unreal. It's in Steve-O's. It's in all the big shops.
Yeah.
We can get it.
filters. Can we have some of the stuff donated to G11 as we are G11?
Fucking
Can I have a turn?
No, I don't know.
If you
I've
put
got
some
another
on the
What do you
set.
say? How many litres is that?
That's 4.
So that's we got 3 litres here,
Yeah.
and you still get a litre left over.
Exactly.
Liter of cola.
Litre of cola. So
This stuff is unreal. We've got it on our web store. It's just wherever you can find it, get it because it
I
is.
just
That's the other thing. I'm going to shamelessly plug the store, but the store online has a whole heap of shit. So instead of running first, I'm not going to try and sabotage with any potential brands that we could have, but before
Our store
running,
is the primary focus.
but
for us.
yeah, like before running to MX store for parts or just the usual places, it'd be really sick if you could run to the store and just see if you've got available. If there's things that aren't there, that
Send us a message.
Yeah,
we
dude,
can
like,
get
we'll-
most stuff.
we
Yeah,
get
man,
stuff.
we get stuff and things, but it also helps us sort of realize like what are the people, what do the people want?
Gotta give the
And
people what they
gotta
want.
give what they want,
Gotta give
baby.
what they want.
Yeah, and then so it just gives us some ideas to, you know,
100%.
who we need to target and get on board with what we're doing. But yeah, really, I want to encourage you guys, jump on the store.
I reckon we'll run a bit of a promotion.
And today we're targeting people who don't watch the Red Film.
Our target market.
I think we'll run a bit of a promotion coming up soon. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll put that out on the socials, discounts or free shipping or something like that. But we've got the Prime stuff on there now, working with Cam on that one. That's been
You know what's
super
really
good.
funny about that deal you got going there? Because I've been watching those videos.
Now you got to order a heap of Prime stuff off the website and pay full retail.
No, because I was watching all this stuff and I held myself from saying it because I knew Marshall was just gonna like shut my shit down so hard and tell me I'm an idiot. Because I was about to go, oh dude, I found this thing that cleans bike parts really sick. Forgetting that you guys literally do this
It's on the shelf
all the time and it's attached to the workbench.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Prime. Oh, that's from the YouTube video.
Oh yeah.
Mad.
Yeah, they
Oh,
we've got it.
You can tell I'm very green. Like, I love the passion's there, but the brain's not.
No, that's
Like,
alright.
The brain's loading, but it's
Yeah.
not for me.
Yeah. It loads with different
It's
things.
at about 27%.
I'm on 3G, I'm on 5G. Yeah.
What have we got going on in the workshop at the
Nothing.
moment?
I don't ever do nothing. No, actually,
Dude, it's cleaner. It's cleaner.
It's cleaner.
What,
Yeah,
workshop's
it
Oh
looks
my god, it looks like a
great.
bomb's
Yeah,
gone
no,
off.
it
That's because
That-
heaps of bikes are off getting straightened.
Yeah.
Well, if everything that was away was back, you wouldn't be able to move.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's okay.
Workshop stuff, yeah, so...
Got the 91.
I did some stuff today.
Sort of saucy
Stripped
stuff.
a 91 CR250 down.
Going for a full OEM rest style.
Fully
now.
OEM.
Yeah.
Flowium is what we
Flowium.
call it now.
It's got about 300 different red plastic colours on it.
Yeah, it's got neon, it's got red, it's got nuclear red.
Yeah. You can put your fingers straight through the air filter. That was wild.
Yeah, the air filter
Oh,
was
was
like...
that from that CR?
Yeah. You know those videos where you see, and you look at, it's on like Instagram and stuff, and you're like, oh, it's a shoe, but then it's a cake?
Yeah.
That's
That's
what the air
it was
filter
an
was
air
like.
filter.
It was
It was
like,
an
oh, it's an air filter.
No.
What's a cat? No, it's just a shit
shit
air
air
filter.
filter.
Yeah, it literally fell apart.
But you know the good thing about that bike is it's all the original parts are there. We've spoken about this on some of our YouTube stuff about actually restoring stuff. I know
Yeah, not just buying new shit.
stuff.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually restoring.
restoring stuff. We've got original radiators. We've
Yeah.
got original exhaust. It's all schmutzeled, but
Yeah.
It's
It's all
if it's
seen,
there,
it's fixable.
we can
Yeah.
repair it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
We're
Can
actually
I say that thing, like, just the frame and swing arm looks so clean. Like, when I walked in
Oh,
there,
the
you're talking about
500.
Was that the
next
different
to it.
one?
No,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
different
different
the
one.
500 looks shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the frame.
Yeah,
Put that one in your van.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
that's
your
going
deal?
to
That's
NPO.
250, yeah.
Yeah. To get sandblasted
Yeah.
before it goes to the front.
There's
straight.
some push in there.
We were actually, I was talking to Mr. Steve Martin, who does our frames, running the loose concept of maybe trying to generate to see if there's any interest out there in reproducing a couple of CR frames.
Reproduction.
He was saying they're going to be about,
It's the
you know,
birds and the bees.
the-
I'm tired and hungry.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the bung eye.
We're reproducing
But
bikes.
they'd be fairly expensive, but it'd be cool to even just do a couple of them. We don't have to do them as
What,
a,
like steel frame, you mean?
yeah, like brand new steel frame. He would make them from scratch.
That's-
For those who have got some really deep pockets and want the really
Not me.
not me,
Mm.
and who want absolute, because we're getting some of these frames now, and yeah, we're repairing them, but they're getting tired,
Yeah.
guys. They're getting tired,
Yeah.
super
And
tired.
the thing is, like, if you're gonna resto it and do a Marshall, just put it in the lounge room, hang it up. That's cool. But like, if you're gonna, funny you mentioned that when we went to the Vipers. I thought, I'm not discrediting anybody's bikes, that they all looked like the ones you restore. They're like
No.
glowing.
No.
You're
But these get rid of
Yeah,
it.
those
But
bikes
that's
are
what I mean. It's like if you're going out there and riding
There's
those
different
things.
levels of breast.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, if you got a bike that you want to go and ride, you probably want to be on the safer side. And like you
Yeah.
said, some of these frames are pretty
Tired,
tight.
man. We see some stuff and things, and you're like, whoa,
Stuff.
my God.
Oh, if I blow on that, it might snap in
Yeah.
half.
Dude, some of the frames, like you get them back from sandblasting.
And
it's
they-
like
they come in a little
Swiss
early.
cheese, man. Yeah, literally. No, they're like this is like the blaster just blows holes
Yeah.
and shit, and you
Yeah.
don't know that until
you start doing it.
stripped it back.
No.
Like you'd be like, oh yeah, no, it's still good. You put new plastics on it. You do your motor, you do your this, you do your that, and then you ride it and snap the subframe
Yeah.
And then you're a world of
or
hurt.
frame rail.
Yeah.
So if you wanted, if you've got the money and you sort of delving
Yeah,
deep into this
interesting.
stuff, it would be pretty cool. You know, even if we've got 6 of them, like just a run of 6 of them or 7 of them. Okay, cool. We've got some brand new, never used frames. That would be, you know, because eventually these bikes, and we've spoken about this, and I don't think there is, like, I would love to reproduce 90s CRs, you know what I mean? Like literally brand new ones. But we're spoken about, it's not
$400 million.
Exactly right.
And then at the end of the day, you're not going to spend, like say it costs us a heap to build, so we've got to charge and make money on it.
Yeah.
No one's going to spend that kind of money on something that's not the real thing.
100%.
And I think it's like the journey of building a bike for someone as well as a massive part. Not just going out and buying a brand new
pre-production bike.
Brand new
97
Yeah.
CR
Yeah.
250.
I know there's a romance there, like it'd be cool to go back
funny
to.
you say like there's a romance there, but like I haven't been around vintage bikes to you guys, and starting to interact and be around them and see them, it is cool. Like the Vipers, it was the first one I've been to, and seeing some of those bikes, and I'm young, so like a lot of those bikes were literally older than, or majority were older than me, and seeing them running and moving and like
Different
it was
size,
pretty
different sound.
It is starting to watch,
It's
man. You're like
that fucking 500 the homie started up near
Yeah,
us.
man.
It's like
Ding,
bung,
ding,
bung,
ding,
bung, 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 and then they're trying to ride them on that.
Yeah.
Like a bike from
The mid-80s.
Yeah, well, yeah, like
Dude,
early
I was-
80s to riding it on a modern
Yeah,
tour.
funny
The
you
ball
bring that up.
taco with suspension trouble
That
that's that
dude,
mine.
that dude with the CR500, I wish I got his, I didn't get his name, but we had a moto together where I passed him, we were just going cat and mouse, like flat stick, and I passed him on the first corner of the last lap. And in my head, I'm like, please be tired, because I'm smoked. Like, completely.
He can
dead.
ride, man.
Yeah, and I held him off, got off the track, and I made the joke. I go, dude, I was praying you were tired. And he goes, man, he said, same thing, we were both smoked. And then he goes, hold my bar. Like, hold
The
hold
AF?
Yeah.
I said, oh, yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
holding this thing, and I just said to him, like, how the hell? Because then I got him to hold my 350, because I was on the 23 350.
Nothing.
And he goes, dude, your bike's not on. I said, it's definitely on.
Yeah.
It's definitely on.
Yeah.
And, like, just that level of respect. And I just thought, those dudes back in the day,
But see,
racing those things is
When we
wild.
were sitting up in the bit before you pulled down onto the track onto the gate,
Yeah.
there was a dude on a Mako
Yeah,
sitting in front of
that's
me,
right.
and me and him were chatting, and I was like, dude, that thing's sick, and he's like, bro, this thing is a nightmare to
Yeah.
ride. I was like, well, he goes, it is so fast,
And
and it doesn't have brakes,
and it
doesn't
doesn't
have
have suspension.
He's
Yeah.
like, but he goes, the thing is like crazy fast.
Dude, those, but that's the thing, those old
It
guys.
was dual shot,
Yeah.
and riding it at Terrell.
Yeah.
You have these like, oh cool, you know, like a CR500, yeah, I want to get one, it's going to handle stick. It's going to handle like a pile of
Bag of
shit.
dicks.
Yeah. And then,
there goes that.
Bit of pants down.
and like the funny thing was, man, I'm racing this dude, and like it was all fun, and you're feeling quick, and it just shoots your ego, and you're like, god damn, this guy can ride.
Yeah.
Like I got a brand new. It's like
Wait till you
the
see.
bike is the biscuits. My suspension's mad. I've done this conversion, the bladder
And I
conversion,
just beat homie.
and I just beat homie on a freaking AF CR500.
Wait till you see Jack Simpson ride an actual CR500.
Yeah, man. It's
Dude,
just
he rides at like a
gnarly.
125.
It is
Yeah,
gnarly.
well, I mean, his is an AF.
No, his
But
is
still-
a steel
it's
frame. Yeah,
Like the element of vibration is completely
different.
But yeah, it's still.
like
Yeah,
Alan
I just couldn't fathom it when I grabbed his handlebar at the end of the
Well,
race.
it's funny because he reached over and grabbed the handlebars on my 125.
Yeah,
And I was like, fuck,
That's
this-
his thing.
What the fuck is this
yeah,
guy
no,
doing?
you do it too in
And
the start.
he didn't say nothing. He just like reached over
No.
and grabbed it, and
He's-
I then looked forward, and I was like, "You getting in my head, motherfucker? What's
Still
going on
that
here?"
Cooper Webb shit.
Yeah, I was like,
Playing
what is
today.
it?
what he's
Yeah.
doing is he's going, this AF conversion was not a
This is
good
a bad
idea.
idea.
This is a bad
I should've left
idea.
it
I should have
in the
just left
frame.
it. Yeah, I should have
Yeah.
just left
It
it.
only
stand.
clicked to me just then, like
'Cause-
when you said
Yeah,
that you did it
yeah.
to you, because I was
And the
like,
funny
what?
thing was, like, I hadn't been around these bikes before, and when I was riding with him, I thought it was a CR250 the whole motor. And we were
But
coming
ting,
out of,
ting, ting, ting,
yeah,
ting,
but I
ting,
didn't notice. I didn't notice at all. We're like coming out of corners, and I'm like, this guy won't piss off. Like it was just going down
Just-
straights. I was like, what is
They just
going
chucked
on?
her out, yeah.
What is going on? And then yeah, when he pulled it off, and I see 500, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, makes
there you
sense.
Well, off the line,
Yeah,
every single time I lined up on the gate.
you had a good start, and then second
No,
gear.
but homie on the 500 would pull up on one side of me,
And your
then
man-
homie on the 300 would pull
Yeah.
up on the other side of me,
Yeah.
and I was like, these
Ah,
motherfuckers.
shit.
Yeah.
I'd get out of the gate, I'd be like, I'm good. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, you fucking assholes.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. But that to me was really sick about the Vipers. Was just,
Dude, Vipers is good fun, and the thing is,
Yeah.
it's quite humbling when you go out there because these
Yeah.
guys are swinging off these things on the regular.
dude, I was very happy that they ride old bikes, not new ones, because we
Oh,
would have got
dude,
the
there's some
absolute
good
shit
fast
handed to
dudes.
us.
I told you, don't sleep on those
Nah,
guys.
yeah.
A lot of them can
I'm
ride.
looking
And they're
at that
riding
old
bikes and
AXO
shit.
gear and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's just go do it. And then
it'd be good. You know what I wished? Everyone that bought a vintage bike in COVID, saying that I'm going to buy it and do Vipers. I wish they all came out.
You know, like I was
because about 2% of them made it.
Thinking about it yesterday though, like I know obviously the Viper and it's all about the vintage and blah blah blah. I don't go there for that.
Yeah.
I go there to race two strokes.
Yeah. It's almost better being a two-stroke.
It's like a two-stroke national to us. Yeah. Like we brought the 125s out.
Yeah, like you know, it's all well and good for the vintage stuff, but in my mind, I'm just like, why can't I just have like I know they do it in New South Wales? They do it in
two-stroke.
I just want to have more two-stroke races. Man.
Yeah.
Because I do like as
maybe that's something that we set as a
350.
goal as G11 is like one day
Garage
we
11
G11 two-stroke national.
Garage 11's got a lot of really interesting stuff in the pipeline at the moment. A lot of interesting IP, a lot of stuff that we're working on as a unit.
And that's definitely something that long term
I mean, like two strokes are coming. Like
well, they're not even coming back to here, man. Like
more people are riding.
Yes.
Well, the thing that I found funny, I was thinking about it the other day. And you guys have more years on me, but when I was 15, 16, the guys at the track that were like 23, 24, all the way to 30, they had one bike and they had their four-stroke and that was it. Now it's like nearly, not everyone, but nearly everyone has, this is my full-time bike, this is my 125. And dude, it's always there.
I do. But I mean, like now that like KTM obviously has 17 different versions of a bike.
Yeah.
Like young dudes that I ride with now, like a young guy named Jake Perry, he had a four-stroke and he had, I think he was on a Yami, and he was like, I'm buying a new bike, and he literally went, and he's a one-bike dude.
Yeah.
Lee Calder.
He
went out and bought a YZ250.
and
Jake went out and bought a Husky 250, and that's there. Well, I mean, Lee's still got a 450, but he doesn't ride it.
But he's in love with his 250.
Like you were saying, that, you know, like people have their full-time bike and then their two-stroke. I think a lot of people now just having their two-stroke.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think if we said, look, and if we had the energy and the time to put, which we probably will, and the resources to put an event on, even a one-race event to go, cool, how does this turn out?
And then if it goes well, we keep doing it. Because I just think a two-stroke only thing, how good would that be? Like, I think the camera's just lost us, so if you watch it on YouTube.
We've got a backup camera, which is good.
Oh, we do have backup.
Yes.
I'll pull my
we've got backup audio, we've got backup cameras. We've got 3 cats out there. We've got spare everything except for
G10.
Yeah, I do think like a two-stroke national would be sick. Let us know.
Well,
give us some feedback.
Like, no. I say it just no, but it like rolls.
Like we had the big ball.
Yeah,
which was,
but we can't. I think cruising, Dan. I love you to bits, and your track is amazing. But we have to do it more localized.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like we have had two-stroke events, but they're just there's none here.
Yeah,
people need to show up. People need to commit to it.
That's the other thing. Like you know, again going back to you like talking about Dan and the big ball. I was going to race it anyway, but Dan literally twisted my arm and made me sign up right there on the spot, regardless. But like again, like you were saying, people have to. It's all well and good to say, oh yeah, let's do it. I'm going to be there. But
do it.
You have to actually turn up.
Yeah, pull your pants up, like
go.
And they're fun. They're so fun.
You know what the other thing as well? Like we're not racers, so. It was so good to go to the races without like I was at the Gippies at Blue Rock and it was really happy. I thought it was sick. Like I want to do a couple of Gippies next year maybe, but the environment at the Vipers and like at the environment at the Big Ball would have been similar. Is that it's a race, but it's not. Like, dude, it's just we're just lining up together and going and doing a few
Everyone's
laps.
hanging out, having fun.
Dude, and it's just the environment is so sick.
Sydney
and you've almost got to get that.
New South Wales and Queensland do a really good job of it.
I
think we're really behind.
I've never been there.
They get some real fast dudes there.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Why can't we get fast dudes down here?
What are you trying to say?
Well, you're not that fast, Holmes.
I wasn't talking about me.
You know what I mean? Let's get some of the East Coast guys coming down to Victoria. It'd be good to build a big event, get some sponsors.
It's good to have the big event, but even starting something little to begin with, just have it somewhere where the track's not stupid gnarly.
Traralgon is the best place to do it.
Yeah,
if you could get them on
Traralgon, just somewhere where everybody's
skill sets are covered.
Exactly, because the biggest part is not like getting all the fast guys there. Yeah. It's about getting people everybody there.
Because then you'll end up being gate kept, or not so much gate kept, but the faster the guys are, if it's just fast guys, then dudes like me,
They don't wanna race.
I don't want to race.
No.
That's why I enjoyed the Vipers, because I'm not a fast dude, but I had a ball.
Yeah.
And I
Like
think
there were some fast dudes
racing
in the
your
class.
mates
Yeah, dude, that
is
was
even
sick.
like racing. Like obviously, me and you raced, and we've never raced each other before. And
Nah.
we obviously play around on the tracks and
Yeah,
whatever.
but like
I mean,
when it's
but
like
we
gate
legit-
drop, I'm
yeah,
next to you. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude,
we
I'm
legit
going.
raced, and it was like
Yeah.
all well and good to take the piss and whatever. But at the end of the day, it was more just like, fuck yeah, that was
That was
a
sick.
I think
day.
people
was sick.
forget how fun race. I mean, I'm not a racer. I'm a
People are
mechanic.
scared.
People
They are scared,
That's
and
a big
I
one.
can say totally openly, because I got smoked. And in the first moto, my second and third, like the later ones were better. But my first moto, dude, I came second last.
But you didn't
But
come
I-
last.
That,
Which
but I
was the
also
goal.
had the sickest battle for 5 laps
Dude.
with the dude who came last.
Yeah. And it's not like a
It was on
play
a
around
450.
battle.
No, it was on a
serious but
450.
not.
I bombed on the inside of the 125, took the inside past him, and then I got away from him.
But
And like
what-
to me, dude, I racked up. I was
But
buzzing.
what we do, if you're
Buzzing,
battling
dude.
for first or second, great. If you're battling for second to last and last, it's exactly the same thing.
100%. It's
You know what I
Dude,
mean?
it's just and like just had a
Exactly
ball.
the same
Like
thing.
because I wasn't gonna race the 350 and I pulled it out and like from here like my face after that
Idiot.
moto, I didn't shut up.
No.
I was talking at 8 billion miles an hour like I am now.
Yeah, that's the Italian, bro.
That is the
That's the
Italian,
Italian
yeah.
coming out.
But like, dude, if you're scared to race, like those
Well, give
club
us
the
days,
smaller
Vipers,
events.
Yeah,
those little ones,
super
man.
fun for
Just
it.
give us
go
some
on, man.
feedback, and if there is something that maybe we could start looking at organising or starting to get together, I think would be pretty
But
interesting.
like we said, people have to.
You have to
You
do
have
it,
to show
guys.
up.
Do it.
Because
The
if
other
we put on
thing
an
too-
event and no one turns up,
The other thing as well is
What the
like, you
fuck
know,
are we
if
for?
some people
We ain't
like
doing
us,
it in the middle of winter, though. I'll give you the
No.
hot tip
Spring.
right now.
But the thing is like, if you organise it, the community needs to come together because it can't be cheap because
No.
there'd be insurances and there'd be
100%.
hiring the track. So you've got
If
to
you're
almost,
racing
you've got to
motorcycles,
almost like accept that, you know, if we do it, it would cost a little bit to do,
But
and you
if
get
you-
past it and show up.
if you're
that's
racing
just-
motorcycles,
dude, how did you mount this
it's
shit?
part 2.
that's part
With
two.
blue tack, bro.
You're trying to take me out.
You blue tacked it all.
I've been trying to stick them up for days.
I reckon that pink one's going to go next.
Yeah,
Just to see how
100.
you're going.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
Bit how you play.
Anyway, we'll wrap it up.
So there we go, guys. That was the second episode of the Garage 11 Poxcast.
Pox, is that what we're officially called?
I don't know yet. We really haven't
What do
landed
you,
on
what do you
the
reckon?
name.
Should we go?
Yeah.
Because we say pox a lot, as in like
Shit.
But it's only funny to us, so
Yeah.
No, I don't know, because I say it at work and people know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
It's a
Whoever
word that
comes
doesn't get
up-
used a lot.
Whoever
No,
comes
because
up
it's an old word.
with the name in the next 2 weeks, we'll put together a Motul and a Motec giveaway pack.
Yeah, done.
Whoever comes up with
You
the
know
best
what?
name,
I'm coming up with the best name because I'm getting some free
I'm
shit.
doing it right now.
whoever does that, let us know.
Yeah.
Send them into the Instagram. Send them in. Comment on the YouTube. However you can get the
Need some
names.
chill.
Yeah,
You and Chase need some
Just
chill.
Whoever can get the names to us, we'll put together a Motul Motec pack for you guys.
Moto hamper.
A little moto hamper.
like that.
But thank you again, guys. It's been great. I think we've got a fairly good bit of momentum with this now. We've got some cool ideas. We're going to start doing them weekly.
Irrespective, I have fun doing this shit.
And
so,
it is.
like,
It's
we could have 3 views or 3 million. I'm coming back.
Yeah, 100%.
That's,
And we'll keep doing. I think
yeah.
Mr. Mitch Worrell was.
No.
Who's that? I think he was.
Appreciate
Yeah, who's she? I think he was pretty keen to come in and have a talk. All things retro gear. He's
chilling my ear off
he's
yesterday.
like me. He loves vintage gear and vintage bikes and all that sort of stuff. So
Getting
maybe
stuck in
we'll
the past.
get. Yeah, we're all stuck in the past, mate.
I'm not.
little future baby.
So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Like I said, check out the Instagram, check out the Facebook,
Check
the
out the
YouTube.
store.
We're on Spotify.
Check out the store.
Oh, and yeah, check out.
Check out the store, guys. There's some cool stuff
Yeah,
there.
you'll be surprised because it's not just your run of the mill.
No, we put a lot of time and effort. Dale has put in a lot.
we
of
don't. Dale
We
does.
don't. Dale does. We have a Dale. Anyone who needs website stuff needs a Dale.
And it's also like if you guys want to support like what we're doing,
Look.
and you know you don't have a bike to restore, like if
Dude, we
that's
do
your way
brand new
of
stuff.
shooting it. Yeah, but like just if you're looking for some stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Look, check it out. I mean, if there's any feedback for the site, you can give us. If you want anything ordered or added or anything, just let us know. All right, guys.
Also, feedback if we talk around in circles and it does your head in because
We do that anyway. That's why nothing gets done.
yes.
We work around in circles. All right, guys. My name's Kane. Marshall Gozzo. Thank you very much for joining us. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, however you want to get it, check us out, and we will keep in contact. Let us know.
See you next week.
Thank you very much. See you next week, guys. Bye.
Adios.